Hi everyone, we're going to be playing Fairy Corgi Steeplechase today. It is a game by Varnished Truths, who has, I believe, also given some giveaways for the game, so keep an eye out for those. And yeah, we're going to be racing in the Grand Corgi Cup. But first we should introduce ourselves again. So my name's Philippa Moore. You can find me all over on Twitter, TikTok, all that jazz, talking about games. And our lovely players, if you could just reintroduce yourselves. So again, I'll go around. So Pandora, tell us who you are, what you do.
Hi, I'm Pandora. I've lived a long life. I absolutely love D&D. Fairies, dogs, they are my bomb. I am now flustered because things went wrong and now I'm panicking, so I do apologise.
It's all fine.
I will pass on to the next person.
Okay, next person. Echima, tell us about you.
Hi, I'm Echima, and I've started playing D&D fairly recently. And I thought I would try a new kind of game, and so I saw this one on the list and I just jumped in, and now I'm here.
Hooray! Marcus, tell us about you.
Hello there, I'm Marcus. I've played a lot of TTRPGs in my life, but I have never ever played a game before in which I can play a fairy and a corgi, so I just had to get in on this game, and I'm so glad to be here today to play a game of Fairy Corgi Steeplechase.
Exciting. And finally, Kato, tell us about you.
Hello again, I'm Kato. I'm an Irish D&D player, streamer, and character artist. I play Mooney in Rise of the Forsaken, a bi-weekly D&D show with D8 Dungeon, an Irish D&D TTRPG group, and I'm so happy to be here. Hello.
Okay, so yes, we are going to be playing some Fairy Corgi Steeplechase, which is a lovely one-page game. I've also been talking with Varnished Truths, and we've extended it out so we can also be rolling off the racetrack as well. So we're going to be doing that too. So as we enter the entrance to the Grand Corgi Cup, which those of you in England and Europe, you may think of Ascot at this point, or perhaps a country fair. It's a very lovely and grand setting. But of course, we need our racers. So I'm going to go around again. And as you're entering through the beautiful flower arches of the Grand Corgi Cup Fair, I want you to tell us a little bit about your fairy and your corgi. Tell us a little bit about what they look like, why they've decided to come and race today, and what we might expect from them. So I'll go in the same order again. So Pandora, who is your fairy and who is your corgi?
My fairy is Willow. She is a common sort of fairy. She's small, she's got bright blue hair, she's got dragonfly sort of wings, she's got a purple petal dress on, she's got a dog disguised as a corgi, but it's a spoker. She found him and raised him herself, and his name is Stormy, and they go by Wicked Storm.
Excellent. Okay, so Willow and Stormy head into the fair. Meanwhile, Echima, tell us about your fairy and your corgi.
So my fairy is Lafayette. She's a speed junkie, and she's just this very fat fairy who enters on a very, very fat corgi who, instead of walking, is just rolling around. Because they've discovered that this is the way, people. This is how you go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Yeah.
Everything on, but everything is of the finest quality, and
We're just noticing
we might have some
sound
text.
might be off again.
And
So
there
we're
we
just
are
gonna
again.
check that. No, apparently we're okay. Never mind. Carry on.
There we
Keep
go
telling us
again.
about
All right.
Finnegan.
So Finnegan is a very tall and lanky, well-dressed dandy fairy who's wearing riding gear, but made of a very fine material.
Of course.
Has a scarlet shawl around his neck and over his shoulders, and also some sequins all over his outfit.
Very nice.
And he's accompanied by Prism, his Corgi Dachshund breed. And Prism looks very rough and grizzled for a Corgi. You can imagine if Clint Eastwood was a Corgi Dachshund dog, that's what he would look like.
Amazing.
And it's a nice contrast between this very flashy appearance of Finnegan with the more rough and rugged look of Prism next to him.
Excellent. Okay, so Finnegan and Prism also head into the fair. And finally, Kato, tell us about your fairy and corgi combo as well.
My fairy, I am playing a lovely wee fairy called Miri, and she's very cottage-core. She has a lovely little corduroy jacket and a nice little floral skirt, woolly tights, cute little pointy nubuck boots, and lovely little bumblebee wings. She's got very long, straight, mossy coloured hair with little bits of lavender through it, pale green skin, and she has a little corgi with her. And this boy looks also quite rough and tough. It's a wee cardigan corgi. The way that his patterns on his fur almost sort of makes it look like he's wearing a little sleeveless denim jacket. He looks very feisty, and he just does not look bothered to be there at all. He's ready for a fight.
Amazing. And did you say what your corgi's name was?
His name is Seamus.
Seamus. Okay, so all of you make your way to the Grand Corgi Cup, which sort of layout wise, there is obviously a big race track towards the back of the fair, but entering towards the front, you've got this lovely flower arch to enter into, and there's loads of stands with food, drinks, various interesting things to pick up at the fair. There's games and stuff as well. Of course, an elderflower fizz stand for, refined fairies to partake in. And just generally everyone's having a lovely time, bustling around. And yes, as Ada mentioned in the intro, there are a few prizes on offer for the Grand Corgi Cup, which you will all have been informed of when you entered into the race. And those are, of course, the Grand Corgi Cup itself, a big golden cup, a huge blueberry pie offered by Sir Bullwimple Blueberry, the Blueberry Knight, a year's supply of treats for your corgi, and a lunch with the Fairy Queen. So some important prizes on offer as well. There's lots of people who would like to win that prize. But as you're entering, you've got loads of things you can go and look at, as I say, food, drink, etc. Is there anything you want to get up to before the race starts? You've got, a little bit of time to mingle and meet your fellow racers. I'm sure you've all met each other at previous rounds before the final today. But where does everyone head to?
Miri has a theory of why, because her corgi is a nippy little boy, and he just keeps nipping all the other riders. And she has a theory that it's because the saddle that her dad got him to wear, it doesn't match his fur. He's a black furred corgi, and he's been given a brown saddle to wear, and she's like, absolutely not, no. That just does not go. So she is going to look for a brand new little saddle, maybe a saddlebag full of treats that she can use to distract other corgis.
Yeah, so I believe you're referencing, in fact, one thing we're going to be doing is our racers can be on the lookout for some little items they can use, sort of Mario Kart style, to deploy during the race, one each. So you can be having a look to see if you can pick up one of those, and everyone can grab one each at some point. So yeah, if you're looking for some saddles, I'm sure there's a sort of a saddle and bridle shop for outfitting your corgis available, with a little, I think it's a little mushroom man, whose label says Fun Gus, and he's like, oh, welcome, yes, oh, you need to outfit your corgi, yes, come see, and he shows off some various things, and you can have a look around.
Right, she's gonna have a little look around, and she'll go to Fun Gus. How are you there? Are you doing all right?
Oh, I'm very good. I think he knows you. And he said, Mary, I'm so excited for you to be racing this year. It's going to be an excellent one, isn't it?
Oh, God, I don't know about that. Sure, I'm awful nervous about the whole thing. Sure, I've never ridden a corgi in all my life, sure.
But I'm sure you're going to do an excellent job, Mary. Once one's on a corgi, it's all fine, isn't it? You just let them go.
Oh, God, I don't know now. He's been nipping the life out of every other rider. Sure, I'm only on here because I'm the last one there in the stables and no one else wants to ride him.
Oh,
But here, I've got me a wee theory now of why he's nipping all about him. Like, look at the state of him. Look at the state of that saddle he's got on him there. It's a brown saddle and a black
Poor-
dog. Like, could you
yes.
ever?
poor sartorial taste indeed. Yes, we must get him fixed up. And he turns and he ruffles and finds a few different options for you. While you're browsing through the saddles, what's everyone else getting up to? Pandora, what are Willow and Stormy seeking out at the start of the fair?
Chubby knows that her little Stormy gets a little bit distracted, so she's on the hunt for some favourite treats and hopefully trying to stumble across her big brother, Rowan.
Oh yes, Rowan. So yes, you head in, you see a sign for a hot dog stand, which has every array of sausage you could think of. Chipolatas, bratwurst, currywurst, anything you can think of, it has all of them, especially catering, of course, to the corgis today. But yes, as you're approaching, thinking you might pick up some snacks, you do in fact see, yes, your brother, Rowan. So what does Willow look like and what does Rowan look like?
Well, so like typical siblings, he's obviously taller, she's smaller. She's got she takes more after her mum and he takes more after the dad. So where she's got like the blue hair, he's got more like a greeny blue hair. But you could tell they're sisters when they're up close. Well, not sisters, but siblings when they're up close. But when they further apart, you wouldn't even think they're related because they don't like talking to each other. It's very much a hate love kind of relationship. They have to love each other because they're family, but
indeed
they will pick on each other.
You see Rowan standing up against the sausage cart stand, feeding little bits of sausage to his corgi, who is outfitted in, of course, a medal from last year when he actually won last year. So yeah, and he sort of looks over and just ignores you and carries on feeding his corgi.
She'll go over there and she knows his dog, obviously, because he's been around the house and stuff. So she'll go over there and give the dog a treat and ruffle its ears. And she'll be like, "You're such a good boy. It's such a shame you have such a smelly owner, though."
Well, I could say the same.
Oh, I know how to wash. Mum says I'm always the best dressed, and look at you.
Well, at least I'm the fastest.
Well, you're not going to be today, are you? Because look, I made it like you said I couldn't.
Well, we'll just have to see if you can get the final hurdle, Willow. You know, all this talk, is it going to turn into action? And he says, he sort of turns his dog away and says, "And we're on a special racing diet right now, sausage only."
Oh, no. You always think you're so special. I remember when you fell over and landed in that puddle, yeah.
That was when we were young, and it has no bearing on how I'm going to race today.
That was last week. What are you talking about?
And he looks around to check if anyone's noticed you saying anything. And he's,
look, your socks don't even match. Why?
It's the racing socks. They help me go faster. Reminds me of my right and left. Everyone wears those.
And she looks down like really insecurely. Yeah, I've got odd socks on too. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. I'll see you on the field. And he stomps off. Eshima, Marcus, what are your fairies getting up to?
So Lafayette just scoffs as they see Mary and Seamus go get a new saddle because they're just very jealous of Seamus's style. That should have been their style, but it's not, and they're very mad about it. So instead they go drink. They're looking for a Corgex, if there's one, to go get an energy drink.
Oh, I see. Oh, yes, yeah. Sure, there's a little stand for selling maybe like little treats in like cheese cube form, and then like little little energy drinks for fairies and for corgis, and yeah, you can head up and see if there's anything of interest on the stall.
Listen, young man, Oh, women. I don't have my glasses. I'm not entirely sure.
You see an old man comes with, yes, how can I help you?
Yes. I'm looking for a tall latte, but it has to have at least six shots of espresso.
Oh, I'll see what I can do. Is this for fairy coffee or for corgi coffee?
Fairy
Right.
coffee.
Mm,
Look
yes.
at him. He doesn't need anything. He's already a winner. And they boop his nose.
Aw. Does Bourguignon feel like a winner, or is Bourguignon just like, he's just having a day out?
It's not really sure why he's here, because he's a bit of a big idiot, but he's just happy that he's getting a boop.
Yeah, he's like, the old man turns and he pours some. Well, he sort of to go or to stay.
Yes, to go.
Oh, very good, very good. And he fixes you some coffee and gets you a little thermos flask full of espresso. Here you go. Good luck in the race today.
Thank you, my lady.
Some good prizes on.
Oh, yeah, we're not here for the prizes. We're just here to prove that we're the fastest.
Oh, very good. Well, this will help. He passes it
Thank
over.
you.
And Marcus, heading into the fair, what are you on the lookout for?
Well, it's very fitting that I would describe last for Finnegan, because while maybe all the other riders are getting ready for the race, Finnegan is mostly here for the social aspect. He's going from circle to circle, just talking with all the dressed up fancy fairies who give this entire thing kind of this Ascot vibe to it. And he's currently in conversation with some well-dressed and fancy noble fairies. And you hear him say like, and then he said, I'll use the crab fork for it. The crab fork.
And they all
That's how
laugh.
delightfully silly. But while Finnegan is having a lot of fun doing this, Prism, who is absolutely here for the racing, is just sitting behind him and just has this frown on his face, just looking at him, like kind of like signaling, when can we get ready for the race? And Finnegan picks up on that, politely shakes a few hands, is happy to have talked to some, and he would like to see if he can get some kind of royal biscuit treats that he could maybe pocket for now.
Of course. Well, I think maybe some of the people you're talking to, you hear over the crowd here, Finnegan, my old man. Oh, and you see a very broad bullfrog in silver-plated armor with blueberries engraved all over it. And you recognize as Sir Bullwimple Blueberry, who donated the blueberry pies, coming over and says, Finnegan, lovely to see you. Oh, how wonderful. Are you going to be racing this year? I heard you might have been put in. And he claps you extremely hard on the back.
Sir Blueberry, what an honor to see you again. You look even more blue and berry than last time.
Thank you. I went to a spa.
Oh, you have to tell me which spa you go to.
I know, it does
wonders.
Wonderful mud bath. Oh, terribly, terribly good. Yes, so you're going to be racing, are you?
Well, it seems that through my trials and adventures, in which I've collected many tales in my collection of stories, I have ended up to race in this cup. Wouldn't you know? It takes, of course, much of my skill, and at that point, you can see Prism just glare at Finnegan, who obviously has hardly any skill, to end up here. But yes, we shall be competing.
Excellent. He leans in. I might put a wager on you. I might peg you to win, I think, if you can get your eye in, that is.
Oh, I'll do my best to do so. But Sir Blueberry, old friend.
Yes.
I was wondering, I mean, I am obviously here to win it, and I would be glad with every prize I could get, especially the blueberry pie that you have sponsored today again.
Course.
But have you seen the Queen around today? Is she
Yes.
already at the tracks, at the races?
Yes. She is in the big top, I believe, taking some airs and some afternoon tea. And of course, her guards are keeping an eye on all the prizes, including my blueberry pie.
Oh, would you be seated close to her again this year?
Yes, I have the honor of being in her box.
Now, good Sir Blueberry, most noble of frogs, most noble of blueberry baker
he likes
pies,
this, yeah.
would you mind if you are seated so close to Her Highness, the Queen of Titania, the most graceful being in all of Fae, to maybe gently nudge her to keep an extra eye on Prism and me? I mean, hard to miss me, I guess.
I suppose I could. Depends if you're winning. if you're doing well, maybe I'll point you out.
Oh, that motivates me even more to do my best. And you know, I'm always on my best.
He sort of laughs, and I think at this point, probably all of you can hear Lord Blueberry, Sir Blueberry is extremely loud. Like his voice is like pumping over the crowd, and you can hear him saying, yes, well, I think you'll do an excellent job, Finnegan. And then he sort of, you notice he has like a little like purse attached to his like armor, which has got some royal biscuit treats in, but he doesn't offer them just yet. He says, well, I think you're going to do an excellent job.
You know what would help me in this endeavor? And I just like suddenly glance to the pouch with the treats, just like do this, like first look at him, then look at the pouch, look at him, look at the pouch.
He just goes, are you saying I should give you some biscuit treats? Extremely loud. Heads turn like.
Oh, and I step a bit closer, a little bit annoyed that Sir Blueberry is this loud, step a bit closer. I'm not saying that, but I think that by pure coincidence, some of them might be left behind somewhere.
Oh,
Or I could...
I see. Ah.
We understand each other, old friend.
Yes. And
Just a few, not too much. I want to give the other races a chance as well. We have some great competition.
Of course. He says, well, and he sort of stretches like, I should go and see the Queen now. And he casually places a biscuit treat on the table and heads off to see
as
the
he
Queen.
heads off, I like casually palm it, pocket it, and Prism would be looking at me still frustrated by this entire ordeal, and I was like, all right, Prism, this was all that has to be done. We can now get ready for the races. Would you like to do a warm-up? Would you like to do a little bit of stretches?
He does some little doggy push-ups.
Perfect. That's what a good Corgi Dachshund does.
Excellent. So you've all sort of acquiring some little items for the race. And Willow is recovering from the spate of arguments with her brother. You notice two little, there's a variety of different fae creatures at the fair, and you notice two little Cornish pixies tiptoeing past a tent towards the big top where the Queen is waiting, and you see them tip, and then they pull back the flap at the back of the big top and sneak inside.
What she'll do, is there any like sort of guards or anything around?
There's some guards, there's like some little garden gnome guards at the front of the big top, but there aren't any at the back where they've kind of gone under the material.
She's gonna go over there and like open the flap if she can to peek inside.
Sure. So you head over. I think as well, as this happens, Finnegan, you've been watching Sir Blueberry head over to the tent, and you see Pandora following along as well. So Pandora, you sort of lift up the flap, and you can see them, and they're sort of commando crawling behind a sort of buffet table of scones towards. There's a big table with a white tablecloth, on top of which is the Grand Corgi Cup and this really massive blueberry pie. And a big bag of treats, and you can see them quietly shuffling forward.
After dealing with her brother, she's all amped up and in her sisterly state. She's gonna cough really loudly and go, "Are you guys supposed to be in here?"
They just freeze.
And she's just gonna say, "Guards, these two pixies have just burst in here."
They stand up and they, we were just looking around as two gnomes kind of come forwards. Meanwhile, Chima, I think Lafayette is also, you're probably hearing the guards kind of come forward, and you hear Willow say this as well. Are you doing anything, or are you still focusing on some energy drinks?
I'm just turned to look, because what's going on? That's drama. I'm in for the drama.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, Pandora, Willow sees, the guards kind of march over and like, "You're not supposed to be in here. No one's supposed to be in here apart from the Queen." And they sort of grab both pixies and they start sort of marching them out of the tent. And you see that they kind of put their hands behind the back and like, out you go. No one else in here for now. And they march them out the front. Just as Sir Blueberry also goes in to visit the Queen. He has a little pass to be allowed to visit. Meanwhile, well, is there anything else you want to do?
I'll go back and get my cheesy sausages from my Stormy.
Excellent. And I think one of the guards also is like, thank you very much for spotting that. Got to be on the lookout for anyone trying to, do anything.
They're not having that blueberry pie. I promised that to my mama. She's going to get that blueberry pie.
Oh, yes. I'm so excited. And the guard sort of says, I'm so excited they added this year. Last year it was not as exciting, just having the treats. A whole pie. Wow, I'll keep someone full for a whole week.
Yeah. And to rub my brother's nose in it would be even sweeter.
Oh. And they sort of go, well, good luck then. And then they sort of, they toss out the pixies who slope off towards, I think there's maybe, let's see, I've written down some little things that go on. They slope off, there's like a little hat shop with, I don't know if any of you've been to, if anyone's been to like a classic like English fair, there's always one shop that sells hats that are like weird fruit shapes and like felted hats, and it's always a very specific style with lots of stripes and different colors and things. And there's a little mouse manning this hat shop selling, there's a sale on for like sort of little strawberry hats and acorn hats and various types of hat, and they slope off and kick a rock as they are turfed out of the tent. I think that's maybe next to the saddle shop actually. Mary, you noticed these two pixies didn't work.
Oh no. Mary's gonna go over after she's got on her wee saddle bag for Seamus. She's gonna trot on over and look at the wee hats. Och, these are absolutely gorgeous. So they are. Did you make these yourself?
The little mouse goes, yes, I did, yes.
Och, they're absolutely beautiful now. How much are these setting you back?
However much in fairy currency these are worth. Because I haven't figured out what the fairy currency would be. Let's say 10 sprinkles.
10 sprinkles? God, that's awfully reasonable now, isn't it?
Yes, well, I made too many and now I need to get rid of them.
I'll probably have to take one off you myself, sure. Cover up this wee root problem that I have going on here. I swear to God, you see, trying to find a hairdresser after you lose one. My God, it's absolutely shocking. And she like shows her little roots. Yeah. Just having like a little bit of a growth coming through.
What I'm interested in everyone's opinion here. What do fairies dye their hair with? Is it normal hair dye or is
fruit.
It like fruit or little berries or
moss, lychee?
Moss?
Yeah. Flowers.
I'm just imagining a whole little like fairy production line for hair dye now.
Ooh.
Anyway, he's like, oh yes, very good, and he shows you a variety of different hats that you might be interested in. Meanwhile, you overhear actually the two pixies. It didn't even work. We'll have to try something else. Oh well, it was your idea, so I think we should try my idea. Well, I think there's got to be another way to get that pie.
Little Mary, her ear catches, turns around with these little pixies, and then she just sort of like turns back to the hats, just because she's gonna win that pie. It's her pie,
of course.
What kind of hats are there? Any nice hats?
Yeah, there's lots of themed around flowers, and there's like a little acorn helmet, and there's one that's like a little thimble, and various things like that. And they've all got little ribbons and things on as well.
Oh, that's so cute. She's gonna get one that's gonna match the new saddle that she got Seamus. So a nice green
Excellent.
one, brings out the colour of his eyes.
So meanwhile, Pandora and what is everyone else kind of getting up to? You've noticed these pixies kind of meandering around. You're finding various items and things. Is there anything else you want to do, kind of to prepare yourselves for the restart? There is also, I will say, for the races, there is like a little warm-up area. So, for example, if Prism wants to do his corgi push-ups, he can head over there.
I would actually, Finnegan and Prism would be in that kind of warm-up area. And Prism has a standard workout, which is like really intense, especially Finnegan already starts to sweat just looking at it. And instead of that, Finnegan is not doing any kind of preparation except of just standing in front of a mirror and making sure his outfit is looking good. But I would be keeping my eye out for any of the other competitors, just to make a little bit of friendly conversation and banter before the race, if there's anyone else here as well.
Yeah. Is anyone else heading over that way, or are you still sort of exploring the fair for now?
Willow will go over there because she remembers her brother telling her stories of him training for races, that it's best to do the warm-ups and the stretches. So when she goes over there, she tries to encourage Stormy to do stretches, but because they don't really know what they're doing, it's like really weird stretches, like just stretching one arm up and one leg up and, just touching the toes and like just looking round
Yeah.
to see what everyone else is doing and then trying to copy.
I think Rowan is there as well, actually, and he's doing like a very intense, like extreme workout as well, similar to probably Prism, like getting his puppy to run around and like leap over little obstacles and things. But it's quite flashy as well.
She'd make it a point of not going near her brother, but keeping an eye on him and trying to copy him, so that she looks like she knows what she's doing. And if he turns around to see if she's looking, she's going to pointedly look somewhere else. So he knows she's looking, but also not looking at the same time.
Finnegan is like also seeing Rowan doing his preparations there, and he keeps an eye on Rowan, but wanders over to Willow and like in a soft tone says to Willow, "Don't you think he's kind of a show-off?"
Oh yeah, very, very much.
Just look at him doing all those movements and pull-ups and push-ups and what have you.
Have you seen his socks? He says it's on trend, but I look around the other races and they all match, but his, it's really weird.
Why does he have mismatching socks?
I don't know. Mum always said that you had to have matching socks in case the weather got cold. So I don't get why he's got mismatching socks.
Absolutely.
Mum would be horrified.
Absolutely strange. But then again, I think I've see you before. You are Willow, are you not?
Yes, I'm Willow. Sorry, I forget your name.
Oh, no worries. Finnegan. Finnegan,
Finnegan.
Fantastic, the Fabulous, whatever you prefer, but you can just call me Finnegan. I'm seeing that your Corgi is having an attempt at a warm-up as well.
Yeah, the wings get in the way, but he absolutely loves them.
Yes, those do get in the way. I could ask Prism, my loyal steed, to help yours out a little bit. Prism has a lot of experience, don't you, old chap? And Prism is just like finishing his 25th set of push-ups, and he looks over and he just goes,
You've got like a little corgi barbell that like he can do to add extra weight.
I look at Stormy. Stormy looks at me like really scared and confused, and I'm just like, go on, you can do it. He'll show you.
Stop.
Oh, don't worry. Prism looks more intimidating than he is. He's a rough on the outside, but has a heart of gold. Don't worry. And if possible, I would like send Prism over to help Stormy out a little bit with the warm-up.
Yeah, they start doing a little mutual. I was going to say like help each other with sit-ups, but of course dogs can't do that. But
so the corgis lie on the back.
Little like dog yoga, yeah, like
tickling each other.
Yeah, it's just like little, when they do like lay down and then they have to roll over. It's just lots of rolling over.
Adorable.
Echema, tell us what's Lafayette also getting up to? So you were sort of
so Lafayette just arrives in the same area, looks at Willow's brother, goes, "Well, that's an obnoxious guy, if you ask me," and just goes into their own little corner. And instead of the corgi actually warming up, he just, with his tongue out, like, he just rolls, like, goes flat entirely. All big that he is, and they start just massaging him by jumping on some very precise spots, so that he can become the perfect ball.
Of course, it's corgi sports massage, perfect. Yeah. He's like letting out little noises as he's very relaxed, ready for full speed. As you're all sort of warming up and things, and Kato at the hat stand, you see the pixies have sloped off, and they slope past the paddock, and you all sort of hear them all grumbling like, "Well, we just have to try plan B. Try plan B. Well, I don't want to try plan B because I've run out of treats." And they sort of seem to be slinking back towards the big top tent, although they're now eyeing the gnomes as well.
Mary's going to be awful nosy and just going to pay for her big obnoxious green leafy hat. Probably has like a little pine cone in it somewhere. She's like, come on, Seamus, let's have a wee look around here. And she's gonna like try to follow after these little pixies, just being a little bit nosy on it. I listen to them from afar, being sneaky but not.
Absolutely. I think this might be good. So they're obviously trying to avoid you. You're trying to sort of sneak around a little bit. This might be good for a roll here. So we're not in the racing rules, so we're just going to roll our d10. And if you can convince me, you can add one of your advantages here. Then you can add a +2 to it.
Let's see. What are my advantages? Magicking and
nipping, I think, was your corgi.
Can I use a Seamus for an advantage? I can imagine that this fair is going to be quite busy and there's going to be people in the way. One might lose sight of them. He's going to be like nipping at people and kind of getting them to scatter a little bit, just so like a better vantage.
Sure. Okay, yeah, go for it. So yeah, add some nipping.
Oh, +2, 5.
5. Okay, so 1 to 5 is a fail. So I think it actually causes more commotion. So Seamus, you're like, go Seamus, and he's like, starts nipping at people, and they're like, oh, and it kind of brings attention, and the crowd actually sort of thickens around you. And by the time you look up, you notice the pixies have snuck away, and you can't see where they've gone, unfortunately.
Sure, that didn't work out too well now, did it?
Seamus is like, I had the best time, like panting away, like.
We'll best go and start doing some warm-ups here. No point following them anymore. She's gonna like drop off with Seamus and see if she can join the others at the...
And you were saying this is Mary's first time racing as well.
Yes.
And so yeah, what do you get up to as well as you see everyone starting to warm up? You see Bourguignon being massaged into a perfect orb. You see Finnegan and Willow observing Prism and Stormy's warm up.
Oh, she's gonna see Willow's brother wearing those mismatching socks.
Do a lot of lunges.
And she's gonna make her way over to Finnegan and Willow. God, look at the state of that. What's he got on him there? With her big hat. God, shape of that.
I like your hat.
Oh,
I like your hat. Where did you
God.
get it?
I got over there at the wee hat stall there. Isn't it lovely? I do like them myself now.
My dad likes hats, so I need to get him a hat, so thank you for that. But yeah, no. His socks. What was he thinking? I said to him earlier about it, but he just was like, every racer wears mismatched socks, but I look around and no one's got mismatched socks on. I'm very confused.
Do you think they're all first-timers as well? Maybe he's right.
No, he's not. He can never be right. No.
Oh, God.
He's my brother. He's not right. He's not.
All right. Is that wee Finnegan? How are you?
How are you, Mary?
I'm good. Are you still up to the wee painting?
Oh, I do the paintings and I do the stories. I do every bit of art, and I am glad to see you here.
Oh, sure, but I'm glad you're still at it, sure. I couldn't draw a stick figure, me.
I can do quite more than that if you want me to.
Oh,
but
God, absolutely.
Did you?
Have you gotten onto the pet portraits yet? You can make an awful lot of money with that, I hear.
I had my pet portrait phase already. I am moving over to my expressive green landscape phase, I believe. I feel like I should draw more rolling green hills with a sunset in the background. But those are worries for once we have finished our races here. And Mary, am I right that you're here with Seamus?
Oh, aye, the wee nipper. I sure I drew the short straw this year, and I'd be the one riding him now.
Do you feel quite well to ride Seamus? I've heard some stories about his wild spirit.
Oh, no, I think I've sorted it out. Sure, look at him now. Much right side better now, isn't he? I think it was just the saddle that was the problem the whole time. I mean, if I was wearing that saddle, I'd be nipping all around the two, sure.
Oh, what kind of saddle did he have before?
He had a brown saddle. Could you imagine that? Running
A
around
brown
with Brown
saddle.
saddle. The black fur.
Do you think
On
my
black
brother gave him
fur?
advice?
Oh god.
It was good.
You see, Rowan has finished his lunges and is like, there's probably like a gaggle of younger racers who look up to Rowan after winning last year, and they're all like hanging on his advice. He's like, yes, the mismatched socks, yes, that is a technique, in fact. And he's giving out various bits of advice that you all think is rather doesn't make sense.
By the way, Lafayette also has mismatched socks.
It is a technique. It is.
It's the way. It's the way you go faster, kids. It is. That guy won last year.
He didn't wear mismatched socks last year, though. That it made no sense. He wore no socks. No.
I don't know. I don't wear my glasses to race.
I swear.
He like look. I think he hears you like talking, and he's like, "Yes, it's a new technique I'm working on, actually." And he starts trying to justify it, and then all of the little like the younger racers who I think there's maybe like a junior race, so they were like, "Oh yeah," okay. And they start like taking their socks off and like trying to like swap socks and like, "I'm gonna be just like Rowan. I'm gonna race really fast."
Well, that's embarrassing.
And Lafayette just removes their socks and are going to go barefoot.
They're aerodynamic this way.
Is Lafayette like, you know, like cyclists, when like professional cyclists, they wear those like really tight like lycra suits and the helmets and things to go really like aerodynamic. Is that sort of like the racing gear that Lafayette has?
Yeah, underneath their leather jackets and leather pants, they wear that, and they're going to wear that for the race.
Yeah. As you're sort of discussing sock techniques and things like that, you all hear a very loud bellow, which Finnegan you recognise immediately as the bellow from Sir Blueberry, and he goes, "I'm going to lean back. My pie! Someone has stolen my pie!" And you see the two pixies are conspicuously leaning on the fence to be visible to everybody, but you see from the front of the tent rushes out two little corgis, quite small, miniature-sized corgis, bearing this blueberry pie sort of between them on a sort of little net saddle to support its weight, and they're like, and they take off into the crowd as people sort of part out the way, as they all start running away from you all, bearing the blueberry pie away from its resting place.
Finnegan.
Oh god, that must be plan B there, sure.
Finnegan sees that happening, and he goes over to Prism, leaps on the saddle, and he does this dramatic point and, "Prism, we have a pie to save," and tries to get Prism to move. And at first response to Prism is just he lets out this audible sigh, but then gets moving as well.
Okay. Is anyone else joining in this chase?
Willow
Race, maybe for a pie.
Yes.
Willow will shout, "That's my pie!" And as she goes to run over, trips over her feet and falls down, and then Storm thinks she's playing and just, you know dogs, what they do when you fall over and they just start jumping all over you and licking your face. She just starts doing that, and she's like, no, we need to get the pie,
On your back for a bit, then okay.
Mary's going to jump on Seamus in his brand new little saddle and saddlebag, adjust her little hat, very like, looking all right, and then just casually like trot over while Seamus is just like snapping all around him.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I'm ready to go."
And Lafayette, they lean towards Bourguignon and they go,
All right. Remember that smell, Bourguignon. That's the smell of victory. To victory.
Smell of blueberry pie, also the smell of victory. So, as you all mount your corgis for this chase/race, we're going to enter into our little race rules. So, you'll need a D10, and the way it goes is you'll roll your movement, then we see if you encounter any distractions or obstacles, and then you'll see how you deal with those, and that will progress you going forwards. So, how this is going to work, the pixie puppies who are racing with the thing, they're not going to be rolling. You just need to try and catch them, and the first person to catch them is the person who gets past 25. So that's your sort of position, and we'll keep track of that as we go. So to start with, you all managed to get out the gate of the sort of the training warming up paddock at the same time. So you're all on 0 as your current position. So to start with, you all roll 1d10 to see your movement, and let us know what you get.
6.
6, okay.
So 4 for Finnegan.
4,
That's a 3 for Lafayette.
okay. And Willow?
And a 2 for Willow.
Okay, so Mary and Seamus out at the front, Willow trailing a bit behind. But first up, we need to see if you encounter any distractions, obstacles, many of which will be emerging due to being in this very crowded marketplace area. So first, you're going to roll to see if your corgi encounters any distractions. If you have nipping, you may add +2 to help you avoid. If you roll a 1, you get 2 distractions. If you roll 2 to 9, you get 1 distraction. And if you roll a 10+, you don't get any distractions. You manage to avoid them.
Okay. Will I go first? Yeah.
Sure.
All right. 10.
Okay, so no distractions from Mary and Seamus. And Dan, and then we'll see how you sort of avoid them if you get any. So Finnegan in prison?
That's a total of 6.
6. Okay, so you get 1 distraction.
Ooh.
Okay. Lafayette and Bourguignon.
That's a total of 8.
And 8. So you also get 1 distraction. And same for Willow and Stormy.
7.
7. So also 1. So we'll roll to see which ones you get as well, and then we can talk about what you find. So same for obstacles, but this time if you have wiggling, if your corgi is very good at wiggling, you may add a +2.
9.
9. Okay, so 1.
4.
4. I believe that's still a... hang on, let me just check. Sorry.
This was the 3rd 4 on this die in a row. I think it's going to be politely put into break.
1. Okay, Lafayette and Bourguignon. Any obstacles?
That's a 2.
A 2. Rolled a 2, so still just 1 obstacle. And Willow and Stormy.
I rolled an 8 and I have a 2 for wiggles.
Okay, so that's
10.
a 10. So no obstacles for you. Stormy is dodging around those, no problem. Okay, so first up, dealing with these. So now we'll roll again, this time using your fairy advantages to basically see if you can either, get around the distractions and obstacles. So those of you who are facing a distraction, which is Willow, Finnegan, and Lafayette, we'll see what is the distraction. You see, as the little corgis who are carrying the blueberry pie dash through the street, they sort of bump into a little stand full of tennis balls, and it capsizes and all of the tennis balls bounce across the road. So your corgis are like, oh my gosh, tennis balls are so exciting. So you're going to need to try and keep them on track. So to try and avoid distractions, you can add focusing if you have it. So again, roll your d10, add +2 if you have focusing, and this will tell you if you manage to avoid it.
I rolled a 10. I don't have focusing, but I rolled a 10.
Brilliant. Okay, so on a 10, that means you keep going. You're going to gain some momentum. So add a +1 to momentum. So next time you roll for movement, you add a +1. How did Lafayette do?
I have a 9.
A 9. Okay, so you kind of just maintain the course. You don't get any faster, but you manage to kind of keep Bourguignon focused, carrying on his role, and he ignores the tennis balls. And Willow, how do you do?
I rolled a 5, but I have a +2, so that's a 7.
Excellent, a success. Okay, so you also keep going. You don't gain any momentum, but Stormy manages to resist the tennis balls. Okay, and Mary, you had no problem there because you got ahead with Seamus. You got out of the way of those tennis balls before they even happened. Okay, but you all Willow and Stormy are not, but everyone else is going to face an obstacle, which is going to be the little corgis carrying the blueberry pie leap over a very large muddy puddle, and as you're all sort of running at similar speed, you're going to bottleneck towards it, and it's going to be difficult to avoid this puddle. So avoiding obstacles, you're going to need magicking to give you a +2, otherwise just roll a d10. How do Mary and Seamus do with the puddle?
Oh, 3 + 2, 5.
5, which is, I think, so a 1 to 5, you come to a full stop, you lose any momentum, which you don't have any currently, but he's like, nope. I just got this new saddle. I can't go in this puddle. You're going to need to go around it.
He nips it.
Yeah, come to a stop.
There's mud all over his face.
How do Finnegan and Prism fare with the muddy puddle?
Ooh, I do have Magic King to give me a +2, but I rolled a 1, so that's a total of 3.
Okay, so you also come to a stop, and you just seeing if you, I think you lose your momentum, unfortunately. So, so back down to 0 momentum currently. And Lafayette and Bourguignon, you're rolling towards this puddle.
Yeah, Lafayette just goes, I got your back, Bourguignon. Just eyes on the prize. And I rolled a 10.
Nice. Okay, so you keep going. You roll, like, maybe there's like a little ramp roll around the puddle, which means you get a +1 to your momentum. And Willow and Stormy, you were sort of, I think, managed to get ahead a little bit of the pack, so you were able to kind of skirt around the puddle as well, no problem. So you maintain your speed. Okay, so with that, some of you have gained some momentum, which will be a +1 to your movement. So now we roll our movement again, and if you have your momentum, add it.
It's a 9 for Finnegan.
9.
Yay!
Oh, hang on, now I need a bit of a calculator because I'm terrible at mental maths. So you're on 4, you got 9, you're on 13. Okay. Mary and Seamus. What was yours?
Oh, sorry. I'm on 9.
You're on 9, so you did have 6. So you rolled a 9, is that right?
I rolled a 9.
Awesome. Okay, so you're on 15 position-wise.
Nice.
How are Willow and Stormy doing movement-wise?
We rolled a 7.
Okay, so you're at 9. And Lafayette and Bourguignon?
My dice needs to go to dice jail. I rolled a 2, so that's a 3 with my momentum.
Oh, so currently we have in the lead Mary and Seamus nipped around, avoided the puddle. Well, slowed down at the puddle, but managed to get around it. You're at 15. Next up, we have Finnegan and Prism in 13. We've got Willow and Stormy at 9, and then lagging behind Lafayette and Bourguignon. You've been doing quite well, but I think, it's taking a while to get Bourguignon's full rolling speed up, so you're at the back at the moment. Okay, so now we do the same again. We roll to see if you have any distractions and obstacles, and then we see if you can resolve them. So distractions first. Add your nipping to see if you encounter any distractions.
9 total.
And 9, so you get 1. Okay.
A 12 total. I rolled a 10 and got a +2, so
brilliant. So no distractions for you. Willow and Stormy?
I got an 8.
An 8, so you get 1 distraction. And Lafayette and Bourguignon?
I changed dice and I have a 12.
Nice. No distractions. Bourguignon's in the zone now. Okay, and same for obstacles. So that's with your wiggling, if you have it. How'd Mary and Seamus do?
Oh, that's good. 4 total.
4. Still just one obstacle to deal with. Finnegan and Prism?
That's a 7.
It's a 7, so 1 obstacle. Willow and Stormy?
I got a 10.
10,
and
okay,
with
so
the wiggle, that makes 12.
brilliant. No obstacles for you. Dodging around it. Lafayette and Bourguignon?
It's a 6.
6, okay, so 1. Okie dokie. Let's see how well your corgis and fairies deal with them. So, starting out, avoiding the distractions, you're using your focusing if you have it. And so the distraction which is for Mary and Seamus, Willow and Stormy, but Finnegan and Lafayette, you're not dealing with this distraction. This distraction, a little butterfly flies across the face of your corgis, winding back and forth along the racetrack and in and out. Hence why Prism and Bourguignon are not distracted here. So Mary and Willow will need to deal with this distraction though. So add your focusing if you have it.
Ooh, 8 total.
8. Okay, you keep going. Maintain any momentum you have, but don't add any more.
9 for me.
9. Same as that. So maintain your momentum. Don't add any more. The other 2, you're not bothered by this, getting around it. And then obstacles. Your obstacle is going to be as the little puppies continue racing with the boo boo pie, a little cat is sat and it's sat on like a little side, and it pushes over a little barrel of like cherries into the middle of the road that scatter across, and then it sort of comes and sits just in the middle of the road. Meow. So dealing with the obstacle are Mary and Seamus, Finnegan and Prism, and Lafayette and Bourguignon. Willow and Storby, your focus right now, no problem getting around this cat. So how do Mary and Seamus do? This is with magicking if you have it.
Okay, +2. 5 total.
Oh, no, you're totally distracted. Oh, full stop. See this cat, lose any momentum. Very distracted, sniffing and making friends. Finnegan and Prism.
Feeling Prism and Finnegan will join there. The total is 4 on this roll.
Yep, this cat, very distracting. Everyone's piled up looking at this cat. So lose any momentum, coming to a full stop. And Lafayette and Bourguignon.
10 total.
10. So Bourguignon, full roll right now, focused, add a +1 to your momentum. And Willow and Stormy, you're focused. You don't even have to, everyone's piled up and you go around the side, ignoring the cat. I'm just checking, it doesn't do anything. No, okay. Okay, right. So we're back around to movement. We've got Lafayette's got a +1 on momentum. So roll with your D10, add any momentum if you have it.
I got a 3.
A 3! Oh. With your momentum.
Yeah, with my momentum. It's
Okay,
a 3.
you're at 6.
I got a 10 on the momentum roll.
Nice. Okay, so you're at 23. Oh, you're closing in on the little blueberry toting puppies.
I got 7.
7, okay.
I think we're neck and neck.
You're on 22, I think.
Oh, close.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Close.
And how's Willow doing?
You got a 10.
Ooh, so you're on
Nice.
19. You're not far behind, Okay. Remember, you're trying to get to 25. So I think we might have a few people crossing, grabbing them at the same time. Right, same as before. So rolling to see if you got distractions or obstacles. So starting out with distractions, adding your nipping. I'm going to say nipping so many times and lose all meaning.
I got a 6 total.
6, so you get 1 distraction.
I got
I
a
got
9.
Willow and Stormy got a 9, so 1 distraction. Finnegan and Prism,
I got a 3 total.
3. Still just 1. It's only if you roll a 1 you get 2 distractions. Lafayette and Bourguignon,
5 total.
5, so also 1 distraction. And then for obstacles, so rolling a d10 plus your wiggling if you have it.
Oh, 3.
3, okay, 1 obstacle. Willow and Stormy,
I got a 10 +2.
10 plus 2. Okay, so no obstacles for you. Again, still very focused. You've not had any obstacles yet, doing very well.
No.
Finnegan and Prism,
A 9 total.
9, okay, 1 obstacle. And Lafayette and Bourguignon,
8.
8, okay, 1 obstacle. Okay, so your distraction this time is, let's see, the Queen! Queen Titania has emerged to see the kerfuffle from her tent. And in doing so, everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Rainbow prisms bouncing off her wings. Oh my gosh, gorgeous. So distracting. Okay, so everyone has to deal with this distraction. So you're rolling plus your focusing if you have it.
5.
5. Very distracted. So beautiful, gorgeous.
Yes.
Come to a full stop, lose any momentum. Willow and Stormy.
I got a 2 + 2, that's 4.
For also, oh gosh, Titania is just gorgeous. You need to stop and have a look at her. So you stop, lose any momentum. Finnegan and Prism.
A 10.
Oh,
Ooh.
you do not care. You've already painted her before, who cares? She's just the queen. So you keep going and you gain +1 momentum. And Lafayette and Bourguignon.
10, because we didn't even know we have a queen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, what's this lady doing? Oh, whatever. Carry on rolling. Okay, and so you've also got +1 on your momentum. Then we deal with an obstacle, which is everyone apart from Willow and Stormy. And your obstacle is excuse me, just get your obstacle list because I know it's an extra. Nope, can't find it. Never mind. Your obstacle is the corgis. The corgis kind of get ahead of you for a second. The puppies get ahead of you for a little second, and it, especially with everyone being like, "Oh my gosh, the queen's out! So exciting!" They split. There's a little path that splits 2 ways, and you're not sure. Some of you are not sure which one it was, and it's a bit of confusing signage. Which way would be the fastest route? So you've got to decide which one you're going to take. Okay, so this is obstacles, so adding magicking if you have it. So roll your d10.
7 total.
7, you maintain any momentum. Willow and Stormy, you don't have to worry about it. You were focused and you knew where you're going, so you're maintaining. Finnegan and Prism.
Total of 2.
Or,
No, sorry. This is for obstacles, right? So
Yeah,
magicking applies.
magicking.
Total of 4 then.
Yeah. Okay, so big stop, really confusing. This font on this signage, horrible, very distracting for an artiste such as yourself. So you're gonna lose your momentum. And then Lafayette and Bourguignon.
6 total.
6 total. So you maintain, keeping any momentum you have. You just about managed to decide where you're going. Okay, so we've got Lafayette's got +1 on momentum. Everyone else I think is staying the same. For our movement roll. So some of you may pass 25 at this point. So what I'm going to say is probably whoever has the highest number is the person who's going to catch them. So roll your movement.
Seven.
7. Okay, 22 + 7. So you're at 29. So yep, you're going to catch up with them. Let's go down, I think, in the order. So Finnegan and Prism, you were also close.
5.
5. Okay, 28. Just behind Mary and Seamus. Then we have Willow and Stormy at 19. Where are you at now?
I got a 7.
7. So you're at 26. And Lafayette and Bourguignon.
You're gonna laugh. I rolled a 2 again.
You still have
3 total.
Yeah, 8. You've not even caught up yet. You're like, oh. You've dodged a lot of obstacles, but it's still just like, I think you've got the sense that Bourguignon wasn't fully warmed up from the sports massage, so you're just like, oh, come on, keep going. So you trundle in after everyone else has already caught up with the puppies. So the little puppies have turned down, like a little side bit towards some of the, I think maybe like the food and drink stands and like the picnic area. When Mary and Seamus, you catch up with them first. What do you want to do? And we'll stop racing now and go back to normal.
It's just the little corgis, isn't it? The pixies.
Yeah, just the
aren't there?
puppies. Yeah, the pixies have not come with them, although you suspect these little puppies are quite the right size for a pair of pixies.
Darn off of Seamus, and can she just try and like catch up and then just try and like grab the blueberry pie off their little saddles?
Sure, yeah. You lift it off them and they're like, and they kind of turn, look at you very confused, like,
Oh, look at you! Aren't you just absolutely gorgeous?
they run around your feet. Finnegan, you and Prism skid in soon after Mary, and you see her grabbing the blueberry pie. Anything you want to do?
What is the meaning of this? I say as I get off of Prism and walk over to the other corgis.
You see them; they're sort of running little laps around Mary's feet now.
Oh, do you think I could take them home with me?
Well, I think you could, but we also need some answers on why they stole this blueberry pie. This is the prize for one of the winners of the race.
Oh, 'cause it's the prize now. I thought it'd be bigger.
This is quite a large pie, don't you think?
I could sure have seen bigger now, but I suppose it is quite big. Although 2 wee corgis could run around with it, so it's obviously not that big.
You make a fair point there.
Willow and Stormy, you skid into the picnic area as well, and you see Mary holding this average-sized pie that can be lifted by corgis, but is also a prize.
She's gonna as they've not quite practiced the whole stopping movement, so as Stormy stops, she's gonna go straight over Stormy's head and roll up and just land on the floor. Stormy's gonna come over and start licking her, and she's gonna go, "Oh, you got the pie, that's good, that's good."
Yeah.
Is that the pie? That looks really small.
It's tiny, isn't it? I thought
My
it'd be
brother
bigger.
told me it was huge.
Aye.
That's really small.
You
Maybe
wouldn't
we
think
should
that
ask
Sir
for
Blue.
two.
I'm just noting, actually very small pie.
You would think that Sir Blueberry would make them a little bit larger for such an occasion, don't you think?
Maybe we're just getting bigger. Maybe it just seemed bigger last year because we were smaller.
My brother said it was bigger than him last year, so
Aye, but your brother wears 2 different socks now, doesn't he? So I wouldn't really take his word for it.
that's very true. I should stop. He does this to me all the time. He always does this.
Sure.
Lafayette and Bourguignon, you're still rolling. Do you want to catch up and also investigate the pie, or do you want to keep rolling on somewhere else?
They didn't see that this was it, so they just kept rolling.
Yeah.
And that's after some point, they notice that this is very quiet. And so they stop and they look around and, did
You're
we
in,
win?
The equivalent of the fairy car park. I don't know what fairy, little dragonfly riders or something. In that. Oh yeah.
I think we won. We did so well. We just stayed right on track the entire time. There's no way we lost this.
But yeah, you're like, oh, and I think you can hear there's still quite a lot of commotion of people being like, the pie, it's been caught, and you can find where everyone else has gone to as well, if you would like.
Yeah,
But
but
you're
this-
holding this smaller pie, Mary.
Do I see Lord Blueberry approaching?
Yeah, you see him huffing and puffing over in his heavy armor, clank, clank, clank. So, oh, my pie! Oh, thank you so much for catching it. And he takes it. Well, he gestures to take it off you.
Is that Lord Blueberry? You're looking well there, sir.
Oh, well, I was more well this morning before someone made these little puppies pilfered my pie.
That would be the pixies, sure.
You think? No.
I overheard them, sure, at the hat shop saying that they're going to do Plan B, so I'm assuming that might be Plan B right there.
You think so?
Oh, I stopped them doing Plan A then. I saw them trying to sneak in the tent.
Well, there you are, sure.
Sir Blueberry leans in, attempting to lower his voice, but failing. He says, well, this is quite concerning. If someone was to try and steal one of the prizes, it did cause a major disruption. Don't suppose any of you could maybe do a bit of sleuthing and find out why they may have been trying to steal this pie?
Maybe they're hungry, sure.
I said, oh, well, and if you do, I'll make sure to pass on. They may be hungry, but that's true. But there's so much food around here. It seems unlikely that that's the only reason.
I suppose.
Yeah, but I heard your pies are the best.
They are, of course, quality blueberry from Blueberry Farms.
Mary has both of the little baby corgis just under her arms.
Yes, they're they're doing the air swimming that corgis do when they're
Yeah.
And he sort of Blueberry sort of, I think, claps Finnegan on the back again very hard, and he sort of brings you all in and says, look racers, the thing is, if they were to steal anything else, such as the cup itself, we'd have to call the race off. So, maybe go and find out what they're up to, if you wouldn't mind. And I'll put in a good word to the Queen if you do. And he eyes Finnegan in particular.
See, my brother never got that. That would prove to my parents that I'm better than he is. I'll do it, I'll help. And she does that, that little dance jig.
Yeah.
My help is also offered here. I came here to race, but maybe There's also a very exciting story of crime and secrets to be uncovered here.
He looks at Lafayette.
I just arrived. I don't know what was happening.
You like run in from the car.
Sure.
I
accept
You're racing as well.
whatever it is.
I forgot you in the other bit. Yeah. He's like looks at you. He's like, you look also as if you could solve this. Come over here.
Yeah, I guess.
Good. Glad to have you on board.
Sure, I love agreeing to I don't know what.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna find out.
Very good. Very, very good. Yes. And yeah, he says, "Come and find me and the gnome guards when you've found out why anyone would want to disrupt this most amazing of races." Sort of, he's like, "I'll be in the tent," and he turns and he starts to stroll back. And he'll be around if you want to ask him questions about it as well.
Mary's going to take with the corgi puppies and put them on either side of her new saddlebag, like little
bags.
little subwoofers.
Excellent.
Right.
You see, they have little collars, and one is called Rufus, and one is called Rascal.
Rufus and Rascal. Oh,
Willow and Stormy will be trying to stroke him, and well, she'll be stroking him, and you'll be trying to lick him.
Seamus is just like trying to get at them.
Okay, so I think also Sir Blueberry has also taken the pie to return it back, but now with extra security, of course.
Oh.
So I think as we think about how you may track down what on earth is going on at the Grand Corgi Cup, this might be a good place for our little break. So stay with us, chat. We're going to be gone for about 5 to 10 minutes as we just take a little bio break, and then we'll be back to find out who on earth could have been trying to disrupt the race, what are these pixies doing, and also find out, hopefully, if the race stays on, who is going to win. So with that, I'm going to ask our lovely producer to take us away, and we'll be back soon. Bye. Hello, welcome back to our game of Fairy Corgi Steeplechase, the Grand Corgi Cup. Lots has happened. We've had a bit of an introduction to our racers. They've picked up a few little items to help them in the final race, but then there was a bit of a kerfuffle with some pixies and their puppies stealing the prize, the blueberry pie, which luckily our Fairy Corgi teams managed to chase them down and have just rescued it from being stolen. And Sir Barwimple Blueberry, the Blueberry Frog Knight, has asked them to investigate who on earth why on earth would anyone want to disrupt this grand race? So that's where we're up to. So we find ourselves back in the picnic tent. Pie returned to its rightful place, with 2 extra puppies to deal with, Rufus and Rascal in Mary and Seamus's saddlebags. But yeah, so we're back in the tent. So what would you all like to do?
Willow, did you see those pixies earlier?
Yeah, they were trying to. There was a hole in the back of the tent. They went through, and I spotted them and called for the guard. I don't know what they were doing. They snuck in there though. But
Do you think if we find those pixies, they might have some answers for us?
I think if we let one of the dogs and tell it to go find who its friend is, the dog might lead us to him. What do you think, Mary? You seem well.
That's a good idea, but I'm quite set on keeping the dogs, to be perfectly honest. I mean, they're off here running about gallivanting, and no one taking good care of them. I think I quite like 2 wee dogs, to be honest, but we can let one go and see where they go off to and just follow after it, sure. Should we do that then? What do Rufus and Rascal, are they just like
Yeah, they're just like, I think Rascal has fallen asleep.
oh
No.
Like after all the excitement, but Rufus is still like, sort of like, oh, what's going on?
And Mary's gonna take out the little boisterous one. And does she have like a little dog lead? Are dog leads frowned upon?
No, I think that would be all right. For a little,
Gonna
like a little harness.
clip it to his little collar, and she's gonna set him on the ground. And does he like try to make towards somewhere?
I think actually he looks a little bit confused to start with, because he was kind of running away and he doesn't know. It's a very big, it's big fair, and he sort of just looks at you like, sits down, looks at you.
Do you know where you came from? Can you take us back to whoever asked you to steal that blueberry? Can you take us back to them?
And what I'm going to suggest is we roll to see if he's going to take you to them or if he's just going to be confused and take you somewhere else. Which I will say...
he's going to take us somewhere else.
Okay. What did you get?
A 2.
Yeah, okay. So he perks up and he's like, as if he understands what you mean. He's like, and starts beelining out of the tent. And you follow him for a little bit, but he takes you to the dog treat stand. And then he sits very patiently, eyeing up the cheesy sausage treats.
I told you that blueberry wasn't enough. Look at the skin and bones, absolutely starving. She's gonna fumble through her little purse and see. She's gonna spend whatever she has left on treats for the puppies.
Who did we have?
You too, Seamus. You need to put some meat on your bones. No wonder you're snapping all around your skin and bones.
Seamus happily has an extra treat, and you feed the little treats to the puppies. And now he looks a little bit more like, okay. And now he's looking around a bit more like, because he doesn't know where his owners are.
Oh.
And he likes you. You've given him a treat, but not.
She's gonna take him up and just cuddle him. Oh, you're mine now.
What does everyone else, presumably sort of following along this puppy getting completely sidetracked? Does anyone else want to do anything?
Just look round, see if I'll ask Stormy if he remembers the pixies from earlier, and see if he can see them.
Sure. He sort of like puts his nose to the ground and he has a little sniff, and he sort of like points in the direction of he sort of points towards, there's like various little smaller tents near the big top, which have like some little fair games and things inside, and he sort of points towards one with like blue and purple stripes on it, and he's like,
See, she'll take out a treat and give it to him and say, "Good boy, I know you're the best at this." And she'll go, "Everyone, Stormy thinks they're this way. Come on." And she'll start toddle on with him.
And I was just thinking, like, I wonder how fairies, like, how do corgis sniff out fairies? What do fairies smell like? I feel like maybe all fairies and pixies and fae like leave little tiny like glitter trails, but obviously it's kind of mismatched in a big mess at the moment because there's so many of them. But as Seamus kind of like follows the trail, you see like sort of two that lead in that are sort of, one is red and like one is blue, and he kind of sneaks in and he stands at the doorway to this tent, and you can see there's lots of different games. There's like apple bobbing, and there's like a dog grooming station and a little bouncy castle and things, and you can see the two pixies are currently sitting in the bouncy castle, sort of bouncing to, like, you know when older kids get in a bouncy castle and they sit towards the back and just like they're doing that and sort of whispering to each other. But this tent is quite busy and full of lots of dogs and fairies.
Willow will climb in with Stormy. It's not their first rodeo in a bounce house. This is what they do on their weekends. They like jumping on things. So she'll try and make her way over there with Stormy.
It's quite wibbly wobbly. And there's lots of those like the younger junior races have all also come in, and so you're like dodging small fairy children who are like wee, wee. Many pairs of mismatched socks, of course, until you kind of get a little bit closer, to the two pixies who were sat at the back chatting.
So she's going to go, and she's just going to go, you guys lost a couple of little dogs, little corgis, they're really cute.
Oh, and you see, one's a guy and one's a girl, and the guy's kind of like, maybe we have. Who's asking?
My friend wants to keep them.
Oh,
She
no.
literally named him and popped him on her corgi.
He's walking around with them.
He jumps up and he's I think he like spots Rufus on the little lean. He's like, no, and he carefully waddles off the bouncy castle, does the thing where you're adjusted to being on the ground, and then he's like, no, that's my dog. Thank you so much for finding him. Thank you. And he goes to try and take Rufus off you.
She's like, no, I actually think that this is my wee dog. He was running around by himself in the forest, sir.
Well, I only lost him for a moment, but thank you for finding him. But he is mine. You'll see on the collar his name tag. It says it's his owner is Joey. That's me.
No.
While he's busy talking to Mary, Lafayette is going to try and magic the name on the collar to change.
Oh,
To
okay.
Mary.
Okay. Well, this definitely seems like a role. If you have magicking, you can add
Yeah,
to
I
it.
have.
Yeah.
I have. That's a 5.
Okay, so that is a fail. So, what do you accidentally put on the name tag? Because I feel like maybe you've managed to magic it a bit, but maybe something else comes up on it.
Yeah. Let me think about this. Instead of Mary, it's like what was his name again?
So the pixie's name is Joey. Mary's dog is Seamus.
No. So it's written Jory instead.
He reaches down. He's like, well, it wasn't like that before, and it certainly shouldn't be like that now. But you can see very clearly. E. That's the end of my name.
Is the puppy excited to see?
Yeah, the puppy's kind of like licking his hands as he's like holding the thing.
Mary lets him go.
Jumps into his arms. Pandora, Willow, if you're still in the bounce castle, you see the other pixie is still sort of just sitting quietly, like.
You know she's got 2 dogs out there, right?
Yes.
And she's really adamant about keeping both of them. She says that the owner doesn't look after them.
Sort of like, okay, yes, the other one is my dog, and bounces off the bouncy castle to go and try and reclaim. Rascal?
She'll just follow after them.
Mary gives Rascal back to the pixies. Look, for God's sake. Sure, you need to take better care of these wee dogs. Did you know that they ran off and stole the blueberry prize because they were so hungry?
And the lady who you see on the collar, the owner's name is Jessica, and she says, well, we just lost them for a moment because we were buying so many treats for them.
And
Where are the treats?
You lost them for a moment with a net spanned between the 2 of them to carry a blueberry pie cake.
It was a coincidence. And Joey goes, yes, it's a new circus act we are working on with them. Nothing to do with blueberry pies at all. They look
So why were you sat in the bouncy house not looking for your precious dogs that got lost? I would never just sit there and not look for Stormy.
They sort of are just like, oh. And eventually Joey goes, it was Jessica. It was her idea. She said we should steal the pie. It's all her fault. I had nothing to do with it. I was coerced. Me and Rufus, we had no part in this. He was unwilling in this plan. And Jess goes, no, it was his idea. And they just pointed at each other.
Well, can I just say that I'm thoroughly disappointed in the both of you. I'm sure your parents didn't raise no grasses, touting on each other like that. Absolute scandalous.
Well, that has nothing to do with it. It just. Look, and then they sort of keep like pointing at each other, like, well, but no, it was his idea though. No, it was her idea. You're snitches as well if you're coming to find us anyway.
No.
To be fair, he does have a point there.
No, but you made a mistake. You need to own up for it. You need to go apologise.
Look, if we apologise, we won't be allowed in the race later.
Well, if you don't apologise, you won't definitely be allowed in the race.
And they just sort of look like, okay, I guess we could go and apologize. And they sort of put I think they have like little backpacks that they put the little puppies.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh,
Like, you know, the little, like, you know, people have like those cat carriers with the little they put the little puppies in it. The puppies like, and then as they sort of are like, okay, well, who are we apologizing to?
The starters.
Mary points to yourself.
Yeah, us.
Fine.
Us.
Sorry. And Jess kind of gets a bit like, she's like, well, sorry for making this race more exciting than it was by, you know, adding an additional race.
Second, you need to go apologise to Mr. Blueberry for stealing his pie he made.
I don't even want the pie. Fine, okay, we'll go and apologise to Blueberry as well.
Just to make sure you actually go there, and because I'm a bit of a friend of Sir Blueberry, I'm going to walk with you. How about that?
Fine. And they slump down and they look as if they're going to try and walk with you or be accompanied.
Just going to accompany them.
And they sort of keep murmuring under their breath. Like, I told you that it wasn't going to work. Well, look, he told us that it was going to work and that it would help. I told you that. I said that he had a stupid idea. Well, it was you that wanted it anyway. And they keep murmuring back and forth.
I imagine they're like, yeah, who's he?
Oh, no one. But we
Oh.
promise we will
So-
apologise.
I may not see very well, but I can hear very well. Now, who's he?
Look, we're not at liberty to say. He said he would let us have lunch with the Queen if we disrupted it, so he'd win. But he told us we weren't allowed to say anything, and that's still on. So I'm not saying a word, says Jerry.
Lunch with the Queen? There's only
Willow.
one fairy here that's going to have lunch with the Queen. Who got you onto this?
All we can say is he's one of the previous winners, and that's all I'm saying, says Jess.
Oh, would that be the weird socks guy?
I was gonna say.
Does his name begin with R?
They both look. And eventually Jerry goes, it may or may not begin with an R. Yes.
Willow's gonna just shove her face really close to them and go, does it kind of look like this? But a boy. And green hair.
Couldn't possibly say, but also yes. And they look like they're kind of cracking under the pressure, like, okay, yeah, fine, yes, it was, yes, he did look like you, yes.
Willow's gonna stomp her foot and goes, I knew he cheated. He's not that good.
He said that we would be able to have the lunch with the Queen, and then we could ask her for anything we wanted. And he didn't even want the lunch.
He does. He told my mum that he was going to give her the lunch with the Queen. Yeah.
He told me that he was gonna give me the lunch with the Queen.
See, he does this every time. And then
He
I...
didn't actually. Oh, I'm just feeling a wee bit left out.
I'm sure he would, though. He thinks he can just be all cool and, like, everyone fawns over him and wants his name and will, like, do anything if he asks. It's so annoying. And she's just gonna huff.
Now, Jessica and Joey, was it?
Yes,
Well,
they're
it's
looking very annoyed
nice
as
of you.
well now.
Very nice of you to be this honest, even after a little bit of convincing. Tell you what, honesty should be rewarded. Should I win, and I should get my lunch with the Queen, I'll see if I can take you along with me. Maybe you can at least sit at the table, share a cup of tea, have a few cookies.
They look at you like, okay, yeah.
But
yeah, sure.
under one circumstance, I need to get you to some new outfits.
They look down at. They've got like little like red and blue matching outfits currently, and what's wrong
co-
with these?
Colors are amazing, don't get me wrong, just a little bit of different style. And the backpacks are absolutely adorable already.
That is true. We won't have to give those back, will we? Rowan gave us those as well.
Do they have to give them back? And I look at the other, my fellow racers.
Do I recognise the backpack? It's not like one of hers, is it?
Oh, I feel like maybe one of them is yours. Maybe your mum got you and Rowan matching backpacks at one point. And so one you're like,
Yeah, sounds about right.
So yeah, the one that Jessica has looks a bit like one you've seen before in the back of your wardrobe.
And she's going to lean in and she's going to look at it and she goes, as if he's stealing my stuff as well. Oh, yeah, you can keep it. I don't use it anymore. You can keep it. It suits you a lot better than it ever suited me. I don't know what my mum was thinking. But he's going to have an earful from me when I get hold of him.
Okay. And they sort of look a bit downhearted and they're like, look, we're sorry that we lied. And thank you so much, Finnegan, for offering to talk with the Queen. We really wanted to be able to meet her because we've never done it before and I thought it would be fun.
It's all right. I understand that you want to meet the Queen. So do I. But there are better ways to achieve that.
It's very true. And then Joey sort of pokes up and he's like, I mean, if he's not going to give us it, if he was going to give it to you, Willow, anyway, we should probably, maybe we should tell you where he is. And Jess goes, no, he told us not to tell him where he is. Well, maybe we should anyway.
I think you should. He does this all the time to people.
Well, last I heard, says Jessica, I think he was in the pork pie tent and he was going to feed his dog Peanut. He was going to give him some extra pork pies for extra speed during the race.
Yeah, sounds about right. I think we need to teach him a lesson. He should not be doing this. It should be a fair fight. It's not fair on anyone if he's going around cheating. Daddy taught us better than that. She's just shaking her head, like very disappointed in her brother.
So, you're saying Finnegan wants to take the pixies to go and apologise. Is that still something you want to do?
Yes.
So you can start escorting them if you want. Do you want to take them first, or do you want to go and find Rowan first, or something else, of course? And that's everyone.
I think it makes sense to first get the two pixies to apologize and make sure that the blueberry pie is back, and then we go and see what Rowan is up to.
Yes, and bring Lord Blueberry with us.
Sure,
Oh.
and the gnomes, perhaps.
Oh.
Of course. Okay, so you know where the big tent is. It's next door, in fact, from the games tent, so you can head over. You see that there's the two gnome guards still guarding the entrance, and you can see Sir Blueberry inside sitting with Queen Titania, who's sipping a cup of tea and eating some cucumber finger sandwiches.
As we enter, I make a very deep bow, especially if the Queen is present. Very deep bow and say, Your Highness, your blueberryish royalty, we have acquired the pie and the delinquents who come here to show their apologies.
So Blueberry is like, oh, jolly good, Finnegan. I knew you could do it, all of you. Very, very good.
Oh, I want to point out this was only possible thanks to the assistance of all these other fine racers who showed great skill in maneuvering their mounts and the terrain before them, all in their own way.
And the Queen Titania, she's a little old lady queen. She goes, oh, very good. Thank you all so much for your help today. We are most grateful, and I shall look forward to seeing you all at the races. And then she sort of sits back and eats another cucumber sandwich. And Joey and Jessie sort of do a bit deep bow and apologise. And say, I'm so sorry. And she sort of is like, well, don't do it again. And Bulrush sort of says, do you have any plans on what we should do with them, Finnegan? And the rest of you, stealing a pie, especially my pie, one could say someone ought to, perhaps be disbarred from the race.
But Lord Lord Blueberry, look at these pixies. They are still young, and have we not all done foolish things in our young years, where we were tempted by wrong promises and the wrong approaches to maybe even noble intents? I think we should not be too harsh on them. They have professed their mistakes. They have offered their apologies. And I think we're all going to keep a better eye on them for now.
Yes, very good. Okay, well, perhaps we'll have a spot reserved for them so we can keep an eye on them during the race, he says. And the Queen sort of
Maybe
goes,
you should maybe you should bring them. If you want to keep an eye on them, you should make sure to keep them close to you, Lord Blueberry. Close to you where you might be also seated with the Queen. And I give like a quick wink at the two pixies as well.
Yeah. And they're like, oh. Do you think maybe we should roll to see if you can convince him to do this? I don't know if there's necessarily something that would help you with this.
I don't think I have anything that would help.
This isn't
necessary.
This isn't necessary to say he'll be like, no, throw them out the whole affair. But it's just to see if he would agree with you, or if he thinks no, they should just go in the stands.
Let's see. Gonna roll the d10. That's a 4.
4. Okay, so so I think he goes, well, that's all very well and noble of you, Finnegan, but no, I don't think we should be allowing these rapscallions into the Queen's box, but they can sit down the side and we'll keep an eye on them.
Willow's just going to go slight cough and goes, excuse me, Your Majesty, my lord. And she'll do a very awkward curtsy.
Yeah.
It wasn't their fault. My brother, Rowan, put them up to it. So I don't feel like they should be punished for his influence over them. Many a people have fallen into the trap of listening to his words and bargains and fallen afoul to them, shall we say.
The Queen sort of sits forwards, like finger sandwich in hand. Oh, well, if that's the case, then perhaps you could apprehend the real culprit behind this then, and we might allow these pixies to be forgiven.
Your Majesty. She'll just nod and
she sort of signals like, it's time for you to go. She starts doing a little Queen wave, like, very good, and turns back to her sandwiches. I think Sir Blueberry, unless you want to ask him anything else, sort of ushers for you to leave with the pixies. And he says yes. And he instructs them like they can either sort of take part in the race or they can just sit and watch like everyone else. And I think they sort of say, okay, we'll see.
As we leave, Lafayette just leans towards what was your name? Willow, and goes,
Wait, so we have a queen and that was her?
Yes.
I didn't know we had a queen.
So who did you think ran the place?
I thought it was a republic.
I didn't vote for her.
No, it's part and part of a republic. You can put your opinion to her, but she still gets the final say. It's like she has 3 lots of advisor. One side saying no, the other one saying yes. 3 lots, and then she decides whether to say yes or no. This is what my dad told me, but he's not very, political.
You lost me already.
It's
I'll
okay.
just keep in mind we have a queen, right? That was.
She's the pretty one. Just remember that one. She's the pretty one.
Yeah, sure.
She
sure, I'll
does
do
have
that.
absolutely cracking hair, doesn't she?
Yeah, I don't know how she does it. It's like it's got the wind in it all the time.
You think she'd tell me that who does she go to now? I'm looking for a new hairdresser after my one ran off with the centaur down the road. Shocking.
Oh,
I know.
really?
Mrs. Centaur is beside herself. God bless her.
It's not Mrs. Centaur on the 3rd Grove, is it?
It is indeed. Do you know her?
My mum knows her.
Oh my
She gets
word.
lovely apple pies from her.
She does now, doesn't she? Absolutely gorgeous. God bless her.
Oh, my mum's
just-
going to be devastated. She's not been down. She's had a cold recently. This was why we're
No.
here.
There's a wee cold going around there, I heard.
Yeah.
I feel like
It's
as you two
awful.
are having this little chat as you're walking towards the pork python, I'm just imagining if Lafayette is living up to Lafayette's namesake, presumably thoughts of like subplot revolution time. around.
No, not at all. It's just legit thought this was already a republic, and now they're very confused. But we have a queen. Good.
All in good time. So yeah, as you're sort of chatting, you head towards presumably the pork pie tent, and you see it's every type of pie available for sampling, of course. Many meat pies for the corgis and lots of other things for everyone else to try. And yes, Rowan is busy feeding little bits of snacks to Peanut, his dog, sort of in the far corner. And there's like some very, very large pies that are like for sharing, and lots of little mini ones and things. And yeah, he sort of sat at one of the little picnic benches, just having some snacks ready, pumping himself up because the race is going to be starting reasonably soon. What do you want to do?
I'll straighten up myself and make myself seem taller than I am, and storm over there and put my finger in his face and go, you little cheater, I know you cheated, you little cheater. And that's all she's starts rambling about how he's cheated and like that, but she's so angry and annoyed it's not really making much sense.
He's like, Willow, look, first you're accusing me of a weird odd sock gambit, now you're accusing me of cheating. Like, you're not going to throw me off my game like that. Don't be silly.
We know about the pie.
And he's holding a pork pie and he's like, the pie?
No, the blueberry pie. Don't act like I'm dumb. You do this all the time, and this is one Mum that always believe you and not me, and it's not fair. You're always the one causing trouble, and I'm always the one getting the blame. They will tell you, and she'll just point to the others and go, they know the truth.
Here, what's wrong with your socks?
Nothing is wrong with my socks. And you notice he's actually now got like not just odd socks, he's now got another layer of socks on. He seems to be layering up several layers of socks, some of which are sort of bulging at various points, with little lumps in them.
God, did
Nothing
you
is
steal
wrong
those
with my
two?
socks. Sorry, what was that?
Did you steal those two?
I most certainly did not. These are all of my own socks. They are not all of his own socks, but some of these are your socks.
They're my princess socks. Why have you took my princess socks?
They're for good luck, obviously. And he sort of gets up from the table like, I don't know what you're all talking about. Pies, whatever. Look, I just want to have a good clean race and win like last year.
What about the pixies?
His sort of face goes a bit pale. What about pixies?
They told us what you did. Promising the dinner with the queen and getting them to steal the blueberry pie to distract everyone.
And he just sort of starts blustering. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he starts sort of trying to edge towards the entrance of he tries to sort of edge away from you around the table towards the entrance of the tent. What are Lafayette and Finnegan doing as sort of Willow and Mary are confronting him?
Lafayette would have just gone onto the near the start of the race and started just,
who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Who's gonna win the race? You are. Yeah, you are.
And is Finnegan in the tent or what's going on?
Yes, Finnegan is still in the tent, but he's leaving. Like, Willow is having this heated conversation with her brother, and he's just taking a bit of a step back, sees how it was handled, and if it's at any point necessary, see where he could help. But he gets the impression that Willow has it kind of handled.
Yeah. I think Rowan turns to Willow and he sort of sees you all watching. He just throws the pork pie on the ground. He's like, look, it's not fair. Every single time I have something that I'm good at, you come in, Willow, and you try and be good at it. And last year I won fair and square. You weren't in it. So what's wrong with me winning again if I just, disrupt the race a little bit, throw everyone off their game? I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
It's cheating, and you know it's cheating. Are you scared to win against me? Are you scared to win me? Race me fairly? Is this what this is about? Are you scared I'm gonna beat you and you just all talk?
Yes, I am scared you're gonna beat me. You always are so good at everything and you're so confident, and I have to try all these different things to be good, and I thought I could have just one hobby that I could do by myself that you wouldn't be part of.
I wanted to do it with you. We used to do everything together, and then you went off and became this fancy person who likes doing all these things, and you never invite me. And you go off, and I just sit here on my own and just...
Willow, I thought you didn't want to do any of those things because you're always telling me how silly I look and you're always saying that none of it's any good. I thought you didn't want to come race with me. I thought this was all just you joining this year was to get back at me.
No, I admit I joined just so I could beat you and take you down a few pegs, but that's only because you do it to me. Like when I did the flower contest and you trampled my flowers.
That was an accident. I fell over.
But you didn't say sorry. You just did it, and she's doing that really awkward kick in the ground, looking at him.
Oh, I am sorry, Willow. I didn't realise it upset you. I thought that if I said sorry, then you would say it was all my fault and tell Mum, and then I would get in trouble. And I just, this was stupid, wasn't it? I should have just asked you to come and race with me.
Yeah, I'd love to race with you. You could teach us. We're not very good.
Yeah.
And she's going to lean in and she's going to whisper and goes, I don't know if you know, but Stormy's not a corgi. He's not a corgi.
I had actually noticed he's not a corgi, yes.
But I thought he did really well on the disguise. I mean, the wings distract.
He has got to disguise, yeah.
Do you like his wings? They make him go faster.
They're very good. And he sort of looks very tired, and he's just like, I'm sorry, everyone. Yeah, I did steal the pie. I think this is a sign that maybe I shouldn't race in the race today. I think competition's gone to my head. It was a stupid thing to do, but I'm going to cheer on Willow and Stormy instead.
Thank you, brother. We can race next year, and we can train together, and we'll do it that way.
We'll do a dual tandem corgi.
Yeah, and she'll just give him a big hug.
He gives you a hug back. What Mary and Finnegas thinking as they've seen this come down, there's a little
Mary is just over with Stormy, and she's like, "You're the nicest corgi I've ever seen. Yes. You're like a proper corgi. You're just a pure breed pedigree corgi if I've ever seen one."
Yep. I feel like Stormy has this little disguise. I imagine I don't know what his breed of dog looks like normally, but if he has a little hat or something.
He's got droopy ears. They usually have droopy large ears. So what she's tried to do is stick them up on sticks so they look really large ears. And she's tried to
poles inside.
Yeah. So Mary, you're stroking him and stuff, and you kind of knock one of the poles, and the ear droops. And he's like, "Oh, whoops!"
Hang on, let me get that there. Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So I think Rowan sort of says, "Yeah, okay. I think you're right. I should go and apologise, and I shouldn't have let the competition get to me like that. I'm really sorry." And he agrees. I think he's also gonna sit in the stands with the pixies and step back from the race. It's not good for him, he's decided. With that, unless you want to do anything else, you hear the doo-doo-doo-doo of sort of places for corgis and races being called, because it's almost time for the final race of the Grand Corgi Cup. So you've got a few minutes to sort of arrange yourselves, warm up, any sports massages for Bourguignon. Is there anything else you wanted to do? Has everyone managed to pick up a magic item? I believe you've all been to stalls at the beginning. But is there anything else you want to do before the start of the race?
Mary's going to take one of her socks and put it inside out, and then put her sock back on, and adjust her big hat.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. Rowan rolls down the multiple layers of socks, and you see there was just loads of dog treats inside. And he's like, "I don't need these either anymore," and he gives you all some dog treats.
Yeah. Willow's going to take one of her socks and put it on her other foot, so she goes, "See, we'll start this trend, brother."
Lafayette, I think, was barefoot from earlier.
Yeah, Lafayette is bare feet, has been bare feet the entire time.
Yeah, just this whole thing, just running through the fair, no shoes.
The one thing that happens that as they get the treats, they munch on half a treat, and then they give the other half to Bourguignon, yeah, we can do this.
Bourguignon's getting ready. He's been practicing his doing little circuits of the warming up paddock to get ready for the full roll effect. After the slightly embarrassing, false start on the earlier chase, he's ready this time. Finnegan, Prism is like again doing his little doggy push-ups, like getting ready, and he's sort of like, sort of trying to stare you in the eyes, like to give you like a doggy pep talk.
I'm actually also like, I have like my hands to the side of his head, and I'm just gonna be like, okay, time for your game phase. All right, Prism, this is it. This is going to be dramatic, exciting, beautiful. We can do this. Let's do this.
And you feel like for the first time you've got like a kind of actual connection with, like, because obviously you've been struggling to, connect with Prism a little bit, but for a proper race it has to be dramatic and exciting. And so, finally you and Prism are on the same page, which is if you go fast, it's going to be really cool. Okay, so there's a little a final little toot to get you all into position. So before we start the race, I am going to ask a very important question, which is, please can you describe your corgi and fairy racing getup? Some of you have got new saddles, of course, but yeah, tell us a little bit about, do you get changed into anything in particular, and what does your racing team outfit look like? So if anyone's got ones they already know, jump in.
Yeah, Lafayette, you see, he removes the leather jacket, removes the leather pants, and has this very tight outfit like cycling people do.
Yeah.
Puts on the helmet, goes into the glass bowl that is strapped to Bourguignon's harness in the middle, because the way he runs is not by running, it's by rolling on himself.
So you've got like a little, like, the harness is like a little hamster wheel almost in the middle.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, amazing. So you're in the bowl. Anyone else? What are they outfitted like?
Nothing too different, but Seamus definitely has like a little bite and bridle that he's just like munching on the whole time.
He seems much happier now he's in his appropriately appropriate attire.
Whereas the Mary's sitting atop of him, their big green hat that she bought earlier, just ready to have some fun, not get bit.
Yeah. How do Willow and Stormy? How is the storm?
She's got him a little headband with fake ears, so she can tie his floppy ears back so they're out of the way. She's also added some like petals and feathers onto his tail, so people think he's not got a long tail. And she's done the same with her hair, so it's like tied back and like that, so people don't think it's any different. And she sits just behind the fake wings and holds onto the fake wings. She doesn't have a saddle. She just does that.
Excellent. And Finnegan and Prism?
Finnegan stays mostly in the same outfit. He has like the red shawl and everything, this very fancy riding outfit. He uses some fairy magic to clean up any kind of dirt that might have gotten on the outfit.
Of course.
But he also attaches to Prism's riding harness, he attaches this almost translucent, silky cape that has these glitters in them. And when the light touches them, they like really refract the light in this prismatic glow that comes off of the cape.
Very cool.
Which is the namesake of Prism. And especially once he gets up to speed, you can actually see this very silky, semi-transparent cape glitter with all these colors in the sunlight.
Very cool. Excellent.
But Prism still has this really rough face on, but he really loves his cape.
He's bedazzled, but he's still serious. Okay, so this final race, we're gonna say it is, I should know in the rules, it doesn't say like miles or meters or anything, it's fluffs long, of course. So this final race is going to be 40 fluffs long, so a little longer than your previous race. And we'll do the same as before, so you'll do your movement, see if you've got any distractions, obstacles, and then see if you get around those. So this isn't like a sort of like a perfectly smooth race course. It's if you see like those sort of like cross-country horse races when they have like the little jumps and things. It's like that, but for corgis. So it's corgi-sized obstacles and distractions for them to deal with. Okay, so got our D10s at the ready. You line up on the start line, and we will get going. So I'll go through as before. So we start. Roll your movement as you take off from the start line. So I'll go through. Mary and Seamus.
8.
8. Okay, good start. Willow and Stormy.
10.
A 10.
Yeah, a 10. Sorry.
Nice. Good start. Finnegan and Prism.
7.
7. Not bad, not bad. And Lafayette and Bourguignon.
6.
6. Okay, getting up to speed. So first up, you see a few distractions and obstacles coming up. So first roll to see if you avoid any distractions. That is with your nipping, if you have it. Mary and Seamus.
7 total.
1 distraction. Willow and Stormy.
2.
2. That's also 1 distraction. Finnegan and Prism.
A total of 10.
Ooh, okay. No distractions for you. Focused. Lafayette and Bourguignon.
Total of 3.
3. Okay.
Oh,
1
not
distraction.
again.
Okay, and now the same for obstacles. So with your wiggling, if you have it. So going through again, Mary and Seamus.
It landed on a 0 again, and I was like, oh no! But no, it's a 10.
The 10. Okay, so no obstacles for you. Willow and Stormy.
I rolled a 3, but I had a 2, so it's a 5.
5. Okay, so 1 obstacle for you. Finnegan and Prism.
That's a 4.
Also 1 obstacle for you. And Lafayette and Bourguignon.
It's a 9.
9, so 1 for you. Okay, so first up, we've got a little distraction coming forwards. I found my little thing. So to celebrate the start of the race, some of the little gnome guards have set up a little DJ booth full of music, but it's turned up a little bit loud, so there's a little bit of feedback going on, which is quite distracting for corgis. So everyone apart from Finnegan and Prism is going to roll to see if they can avoid this distraction using focusing, if you have it. Okay, Mary and Seamus.
5.
5. Oh, very distracting. To a stop. Lose it. Well, don't have any momentum yet, but slow down to listen to the music. Willow and Stormy.
9 plus 2, so 11.
Ooh, nice. Yep, no problem. I feel like your little headband is covering his ears, so he doesn't hear it. So you motor forward, gain +1 momentum. Finnegan and Prism, you are ignoring it. You're not having a problem here. Lafayette and Bourguignon.
That's a 5.
5. Also to a stop. Very distracting. This very loud music. Okay. Now we do obstacles, which is with magicking to try and avoid. So everyone apart from Mary and Seamus are trying to avoid. I think the first obstacle is like an inbuilt one. It's like a sort of a jump with like carved in the shape of like a little rainbow that you have to jump over. But there's also like roots around it that you can kind of carefully navigate around. So Mary and Seamus, you're fine. So you've got the same. Willow and Stormy.
4.
4. Screech to a halt, get distracted. I'm just going to check the rules here. Each round it can keep going. Main momentum 1 per encounter. Multiple encounters, failures by first, and then momentum. So I think I may have, to be fair, I'm just reading through checking the rules. I think I maybe applied it wrong last time, which was like each encounter you fail and then you roll. I think it's supposed to be it says if there are multiple encounters in a round, failures apply first and then momentum if any is gained. So it seemed, that reads to me, I don't know what you guys think, that reads to me like it should be you apply the failures and then you get momentum at the end of the round, so that you might lose it next round. Seeing as this is the start, does that seem okay? Yeah, okay, so if we kind of counter that would be a full stop, but it would affect any previous momentum, so you've got +1. I'm going to apply that going forwards, if that's okay with everyone.
Okay, so does that mean I lose my momentum?
So you're not going to lose it for this one, but next time you risk losing it, because I realise we're not gaining much momentum, and I think we're supposed to be. So for this, we'll say basically if you've got any fails, they go first, and then momentum stuff. Finnegan and Prism. We didn't have that one, so we're on obstacles still. Sorry about that.
Yes, no worries. That's a total of 9.
9. Okay, so you keep going. Maintain. Doesn't have any, so still on 0. So yeah, just leap over the rainbow, no problem. Lafayette and Bourguignon.
We were too busy dancing and we rolled a 4, so we just Do not make that one.
Yeah, dancing by the rainbow, like unrolled, like little disco back. Okay, which leaves us with everyone on 0 apart from Willow and Stormy have a +1. So next time you may lose a +1. Okay, so at round 1 we've got Mary in the lead, Willow and Stormy in the lead, followed by Mary and Seamus, then Finnegan and Prism, brought up in the rear by Lafayette and Bourguignon. But it could all change, so roll your movement, add any momentum if you have it. Get my calculator. Okay, Mary and Seamus.
5.
5, so you're on 13. Willow and Stormy.
I got a 5 and I got +1 for momentum, so
Okay, so
6.
6. So you're on 16, racing ahead. Finnegan and Prism.
4.
4, okay. So you're on 11. And Lafayette and Bourguignon.
9.
9. Ooh, pulling ahead a little bit there, up to 15. So a little bit of boogieing, then back on focus. Okay, right, next round of distractions and obstacles. We know the drill now. So first of all, rolling, seeing if you're getting any distractions, add nipping. Okay, Mary and Seamus.
12 total.
Ooh, no distractions for you. Willow and Stormy.
7.
7. Okay, 1 for you. Finnegan and Prism.
Total of 10.
Ooh, none for you either. And Lafayette and Bourguignon.
Total of 10.
10. None for you. Wow, everyone's focused apart from Willow and Stormy. Okay, obstacles. Same thing, this time adding your wiggling.
That would be a 10.
A 10. Okay, so no obstacles for you. Mary and Seamus.
9.
9. 1 for you. Finnegan and Prism.
3.
3. 1 for you. And Lafayette and Bourguignon.
9.
9. Okay, 1 for you. Okie dokie. So this time around, those of you only Willow and Stormy facing a distraction, your distraction is going to be I've got a list of them. Sunbeams. Sunbeams flash down into Stormy's eyes. Very distracting. So roll with distractions is roll with focusing if you have it to see if you can avoid that.
That's an 8 + 2 is 10.
10. Okay, keep that momentum. So you add another one. So you're on +2 currently. No, yes, but we will keep track of that because it could affect it. Yeah, okay. No, Lafayette and Bourguignon, you also had distractions, didn't you? So how do you deal with these?
Oh, we
They
didn't
didn't-
have
no.
a distraction.
Oh, excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong bit. Never mind. Everyone else is fine. Heads down, not looking at the sun. But obstacles. You have to deal with a small little stream trickling past. It kind of cuts through that you're going to have to sort of jump over. So that's everyone apart from Willow and Stormy. So Mary and Seamus. So this is with magicking if you have it.
9 total.
9. Okay, so just maintain your momentum. Willow and Stormy, you're fine. So yeah, you do have +2 because you didn't have any failures on that one. Finnegan and Prism.
It's a 3.
3. Ooh, a fail. So you screech. Prism, despite being a very tough dog, does not want to get his paws wet, so he slows down. And then Lafayette and Bourguignon.
So the problem with rolling is that you don't see where you're going.
Yeah.
I rolled a 3.
Oh yeah, he splashes right in. Blech. Starts floating a little bit. Scrabbles his paws. Okay, so that leaves us with, I think everyone is on 0 momentum apart from Willow and Stormy, who are on +2 currently. Okay, time for some more movement. So roll your movement.
Ooh.
Okay, Mary and Seamus.
Oh, 1.
Oh, okay, so you're on 14.
Oh.
Okay. Slowed down anyway, despite dodging around that stream. Willow and Stormy, you're on 16. What did you get?
6 + 2 momentum, so 8.
Okay, so you're up to 24, racing ahead. Finnegan and Prism, you're on 11. What do you get?
Got a 1.
Oh, everyone's getting distracted at this one. Okay, so you're on 12. And then Lafayette and Bourguignon, you were on 15.
And I got a 10.
10. Ooh, racing ahead to 25. Okay, so we've got Willow and Stormy and Lafayette racing ahead a little bit here, but Mary and Seamus and Finnegan Prism. Maybe there's like an extra distraction in the crowd you like see. Rowan and the Pixies like, yeah. But it's actually a little bit distracting. You drop back. Okay, so we know the drill. Roll to see if you get any distractions and obstacles. So distractions with your nipping if you have it. Mary and Seamus.
11 total.
Okay, so no distractions for you. Willow and Stormy.
I got a nat 1.
Nat 1. Oh, 2 distractions for you this time. Finnegan and Prism.
Total of 10.
10. None for you. Lafayette and Bourguignon.
12.
12. None for you. Wow. Everyone's focused apart from Willow and Stormy, who can deal with 2 distractions. Okay, same for obstacles. Add your wiggling if you have it. Okay.
Ooh.
Mary and Seamus.
2.
2, so 1 obstacle for you. Willow and Stormy.
2 plus 2, so 4, please.
4, so that's just 1. Finnegan and Prism.
5.
5, 1 for you. Lafayette and Bourguignon.
1.
1. 2 for you. I will remind you also, don't forget you can deploy your magic items at any point during the race, just in case you've been holding out on those. Okay, so we've got distractions. So no one has distractions currently apart from Willow and Stormy, who have 2 distractions. So you are going to deal with there's a little summer barbecue being cooked in one of the stands, and the smell wafts down onto the racetrack. And Stormy really likes the smell of that. So that's first distraction. And then the second distraction is going to be, I think, actually, with that, there's a guy selling like little packets of dog treats to people in the stands. And he's kind of like throwing them a little bit. And it would be really tempting for Stormy to try and jump and eat it. So you're going to roll twice to see if you can avoid these. So this is with focusing if you have it.
So the first one is 8 in total,
Okay, so maintain.
and the second one is 6 in total.
Okay, so you maintain, so you still got +2 on that. Brilliant. Okay, and then we have some obstacles. So everyone apart from... Nope, everyone's got 1 distraction this time at least. So everyone is going to deal with... there's kind of like a big tree as part of the obstacles in the way, like a big cherry tree, and the branches are dangling around in the way, so you're gonna have to dodge around those. Lafayette and Bourgogne, you had 2 distractions, so you're also going to deal with, I think, one of the branches actually like blows in the wind and falls across your path as well, so you're gonna have to dodge the dangling ones and the one in the way. So first up, everyone dealing with the dangling branches in the tree, roll for obstacles, which is with magicking. Okay, Mary and Seamus.
7 total.
7. Okay, so maintain. Willow and Stormy.
5.
5. It's a fail. So screech to a halt as the branches drag in your face, so you're going to lose that momentum back to 0. Finnegan and Prism.
Total of 10.
10. Okay, build that momentum. Got +1 on there. And Lafayette and Bourguignon. So first the branches.
7 for the first
7.
one.
Okay, maintain. And then you gotta
7
hop
for
over.
the second.
7. Okay, maintain. Okay, so Willow and Stormy, you're back to 0. Finnegan and Prism have got +1. Right. Roll some movement. Tell us where you're up to. Okay, Mary and Seamus.
3.
3. So you're on 14. You're up to 17. Willow and Stormy. 24 previously.
4.
Okay, 28. Finnegan and Prism, you are on 12.
Yes, and I rolled a 6, and I have +1 momentum, if I understood correctly. So
Yep.
that's 7. And can I also feed my royal biscuit treats to Prism to get my momentum up to +2?
Yes.
So that would be a total of 8 then.
8.
So like while we're running, I just quickly
Absolutely.
grab the biscuits. Whoop.
Yep. Okay, that brings you up to 20. Okay. So you've used your magic item now. That's done.
Right.
And Lafayette, and you've got that +2 until you fail or someone else takes it. Lafayette and Bourguignon.
So Lafayette, seeing that they're pretty far ahead, like, yeah, we're doing this. They take the triple shots Starbucks from earlier, just
Yeah.
Let's go. And they have a 5 with that bonus.
With that bonus, okay. Whoa, yeah, getting ahead to 30. Reminder, we're trying to get to 40. Okay. So we're currently, as it stands, we've got Lafayette at 30, we've got Willow at 28, Finnegan at 20, and Mary at 17. But more distractions on the way. Okay, so roll for distractions. That is with nipping. Okay, Mary and Seamus.
8 total.
8, so 1 distraction. Willow and Stormy.
9.
9, 1 distraction. Finnegan and Prism. 5. Oh,
5.
Yeah, 5. 1 distraction. And Lafayette and Bourguignon.
4.
4, 1 distraction. Same for obstacles. You know the drill now with wiggling.
Oh no!
Oh no, Mary and Finn and Seamus.
That one.
That 1, so 2 obstacles. Willow and Stormy.
9 in total.
9 total, so 1 obstacle. Finnegan and Prism.
Also a natural 1.
Oh, 2 obstacles. And Lafayette and Bourguignon.
9.
9, so 1 obstacle. Oh, okay. So you're all facing 1 distraction, which is going to be just looking at the options. There's just a big wheel of cheese has wheeled its way, rolled down a hill. There's like some cheese chasing going on in another field, like as extra activities, and it's wheeled onto the racetrack and bounced across. So you're going to need to try and not go after this cheese. So roll. This is with focusing to see if you can avoid this distraction. Mary and Seamus.
6.
6. Okay, maintain. You keep going. You stay focused. Avoid the cheese. Willow and Stormy.
10 in total.
Brilliant. You gain some momentum. The cheese, if anything, strong scent. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have some treats later. Thanks, Stormy. You get +1 going onto your momentum. Finnegan and Prism.
8.
8. Okay, yep. Maintain that momentum. Staying focused. No cheese is going to take your eyes off the prize. Lafayette and Bourguignon.
Not 1. And this
Oh.
dice goes to jail.
Yeah.
In the
Okay.
jail.
Screech to a hole. Oh, that cheese. It smells
Oh,
so
it
good.
smells so good.
It's going to be a little melty inside. There's a bit of brie going on. Oh, it's going to be so good. So yeah, lose any momentum. Okay, and then obstacles. So all of you are going to face the obstacle of there's there's some weather fairies in the audience and they're getting kind of excited, and so a little thunderstorm, like a mini thunderstorm cloud, forms and starts raining on top of you, and the corgis do not want to get their fur wet, so you're going to need to try and dodge around the rain and the thunder that's going to confuse them here. So that's what everyone's going to dodge. Those of you who have 2 obstacles, you also need to dodge with that, I think, like a big muddy puddle forms that could get your paws stuck in it. Okay, so everyone who's dealing with the thunderstorm, that's everybody. Roll with magic if you have it. Same order, Mary and Seamus.
12.
Okay, get +1 on your momentum.
Yay.
Willow and Stormy.
9.
9, okay, maintain. So you're at +1 as well. Finnegan and Prism.
The total of 9.
9, okay, so maintain. And Lafayette and Bourguignon.
12.
12, okay, get a +1 as well. Or you're focused, but Mary and Seamus and Finnegan and Prism, you need to deal also with that big muddy puddle as well. So roll again to see if you can avoid this obstacle. Again, adding magicking if you have it.
10.
10, okay, yep. Oh, get another +1 on your momentum. You're speeding through. And Finnegan and Prism.
Total of 6.
6, okay, maintain as well. Okay, I think everyone's got some momentum at this point, which is very exciting. Okay, so again, we are back to rolling for our movement. So add any momentum you have, and let's see what you get. There is a chance that Lafayette and Bourguignon could win this round if they get a 10+. Okay. Right, Mary and Seamus, how did you do?
6 total.
6 total. Let me calculate. So you are on 23. Willow and Stormy.
She's got a 9 and she'd like to use her treats. Sausage treats would stop Stormy from getting distracted from stuff.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this round, you're going to be able to avoid a distraction. I can't remember what I said on the thingy, but what did I say on that?
Simply endow your
Avoid it.
corgi with high intelligence, allowing them to focus, ignoring all distractions for 1 round.
Brilliant. Yes. Oh, yes. The bewitched cheesy sausages. Yes. So yeah, you'll be able to avoid any distractions this round. So it was a 9. So you're up to 37. Getting close. Finnegan and Prism.
Total of 7.
7. 27. Okay, and Lafayette and Bourguignon.
Total of 3.
Oh, okay, so you're on 33. Very exciting. Okay, so still room to win it next round. So Willow and Stormy, you're not going to have to deal with any distractions, but everyone else, roll to see if you need to deal with any distractions this round. So that is with plus nipping, if you have it. Okay, Mary and Seamus.
11 total.
Ooh, no distractions for you, none for Willow and Stormy because they have their treats. Finnegan in prison.
8.
8. Okay, 1 for you. And Lafayette and Bourguignon.
9.
9. Okay, 1 for you. Same question, but for obstacles this time using your wiggling as usual. Okay, Mary and Seamus.
9 total.
Okay, 1 for you. Willow and Stormy. So this is obstacles.
With focus, did you say?
Yeah, so that's for,
Yeah.
it says distractions, so for obstacles, yeah.
Yeah, that's a 10 in total.
Yep, 10. So none for you. Finnegan and prison.
That's a total of 4, sorry.
4. Okay, 1 distraction for you. Obstacle even, sorry, excuse me. Lafayette and Bourguignon.
6.
6. Okay, 1 for you. Right. So distractions. Finnegan and Lafayette, you're going to be dealing with a little very distracting bunny that hops across the course. It's the little flower it wants to have a munch on. So let's see if you can keep your corgis from going after that. So that's with focusing if you have it. So Finnegan in prison, how do you do?
It's a 5.
5. Don't manage it. Screech to a halt after that bunny. Lose any momentum. Lafayette and Bourguignon.
That's a 3.
3. Same for you. This bunny very distracting. Screech to a halt. Lose any of your previous momentum. Okay. Okay. Time for obstacles. So those of you facing the obstacle are Mary and Seamus, Finnegan in prison, and Lafayette and Bourguignon. You are dealing with just a real big bush. There's a big bush in the way. There's sort of like some little jumps that you're going to have to get to before you get towards the end. You can see the end in sight though, so it's all very exciting. So, Mary and Seamus, you're adding magicking if you have it.
4 total.
4. Screech to a halt, lose that momentum. You did not train for bushes in your course. How dare they? So lose that momentum. Willow and Stormy, you don't have to deal with this. You managed to get around, no problem. Finnegan in prison.
Total of 10.
Oh, yeah. Motor ahead, +1 on your momentum. And Lafayette and Bourguignon.
11.
11. Same. Zoom. You bounce over with Bourguignon. Little roll. Just like doing, doing, doing. And gain +1 to your momentum. Okay. I think this is going to be this final stretch given what we are on, so I'll just remind you, Willow and Stormy are at the front with 37, followed up by Lafayette and Bourguignon at 33, then we have Finnegan and Prism at 27, and Mary and Seamus at the back with 23. So we have a couple of people who could win. If both Willow and Finnegan, Lafayette get over, whoever gets the highest of the movement, like the total movement, is going to be coming first. Okay. With that in mind, let's roll some momentum. And I'm going to go, I think, in order, shall we say. So, Willow and Stormy, what is your movement?
My movement is 3 in total.
Oh, that is exactly 40, I believe. Because you were on 37. So, you are going to cross the finish line. But, Lafayette and Bourguignon, are you going to pit them to the chase?
I got an 8 with the
8.
bonus.
41. Okay, so Lafayette and Bourguignon right at the end. But before we narrate the final bits of crossing the line, Finnegan and Prism, how are you doing?
I rolled a 10 for a total of 11.
Okay, so you're on 38. So you're actually really close as well. So you're going to get close to third. And Mary and Seamus.
Roll a 4.
Okay, so you are at 27. So you're a little bit behind everyone else currently, racing to catch up. So that means our winners just literally 1 point ahead are Lafayette and Bourguignon across the line first, followed by Willow and Stormy, and then we have Finnegan and Prism is going to be running in at third, and then Mary and Seamus at the back. So first up Echima and Pandora, tell me, like, what's this final bit of the race like for you two? Like, you're neck and neck as you get round the final little jumps. And, you know, you've got Bourguignon rolling, you've got Stormy's got his little headband flapping in the wind. Tell me how it goes.
If you're okay with me going first, I feel she's getting really into it, and she's like, yeah. She can see her brother cheering her on, and then all of a sudden she sees someone rolling her dog, and she's like, she's never seen this before. So she's like, how could she miss this in the other races? So she's more distracted watching you that she's, without thinking, slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
Just gawking at you like,
muffled.
wow, that.
Yeah, atta boy, we're gonna get him.
She's so like awestruck by this. She's like, I need to train you to do this. This is the way to go, I think.
Yeah. Obviously for next year. So yeah, Lafayette, Bourguignon, you finally got Bourguignon up to top speed with that roll, and he rolls over that finish line, just getting past Willow and Stormy just by a snout. And you roll to a stop, and he unfurls, and everyone storms forward holding the cup. And yeah, you've come first. Finnegan and Mary, you're coming in a little bit behind, not far behind. You've done a very good job as well, and your corgis all deserve good pats. But yeah, how do Lafayette and Bourguignon celebrate after being given the cup, the treats, the pie, and of course an invite to a lunch with the Queen?
Lafayette can't walk very straight because they've been in the ball rolling with the corgi, but they just stand up like, yeah, we showed them. That's the way. I told you that's the way. And no socks. That's also the way, apparently.
The socks help with the ball, with the fringe. Excellent.
As you shout that,
Amazing.
Willow tried to take it off her socks like she never wore socks in the first place.
Amazing. Finnegan, you and Prism get in as well. You got third place, very respectable. I should say there's also other little races around, but they're kind of trailing in behind you as well. Yeah, you and Prism get in third place.
Third place, we see the winners. We see Lafayette and Bourguignon like being celebrated, and Finnegan just pats Prism and just nods. They did deserve it. That was quite some daring racing, and it seems the socks do work. We need to keep that in mind for next year, Prism.
Prism just like, ruff. He's already like thinking about the best type of grippy sock that he could wear. He himself as a corgi could wear as well for next time. And finally, Mary and Seamus, you come in last, but I think Seamus has had a really good time as well, and he's really enjoyed himself. And you cross the line, you see Lafayette holding up the cup. How are you feeling?
Mary's just gonna look at the little saddle and like dust it off. Sure, what did I tell you? It was all about the saddle. Not a wee nip part of you. Isn't that so much better, Seamus? Oh, fuck.
And he seems very pleased with his new saddle.
She'll go through her like the little biscuits that she was saving for when she had riders behind her. She never got a chance to use them.
Yeah.
So she'll just like take a little handful of little biscuits out and just give them to Seamus to enjoy.
He chomps them up, and I think you can see lots of people admiring Seamus. He did a really good job, and he didn't nip at anyone during the race. And, you know,
Oh,
I think
he's so
he might have a
good.
new lease of life as a racing corgi.
He did it. It was
Uh,
inside of him this whole time.
Yeah, he just needed a new saddle, obviously. Okay, and with that, I think that draws to a close the Grand Corgi Cup. Lafayette is given many an elderflower fizz at the tent, and yes, you receive all of your grand prizes, but you know, in the end, isn't everyone a winner for participating and showing off how beautiful their corgis are?
Yeah, Lafayette definitely gives the pie to Willow because they don't need the pie. They already proved that they can win. So they
He's
just
crying.
gave the pie to Willow, and during their meal with the Queen, they go, "So, have you heard about the Republic? Whenever you retire, maybe we can talk about it."
Oh, she says, and we'll get into a long discussion about monarchy and the Republic. And with that, we shall say that is the end of the Grand Corgi Cup. Until next year, of course. Who will enter next time? Who knows? But thank you all so much for playing. I think I had a good time. I hope you did as well. Just to wrap up our stream, we've got more stuff coming up. But before we go, we're just going to tell you a little bit about ourselves again, in case you want to find us anywhere. And just a reminder, we are raising money for World Central Kitchen. So please have a look in the chat. The mods are going to tell you how you can donate to that. But if you've enjoyed this, you've been enjoying the day, please do donate. So just before we go, we'll go round one last time, tell you who we've all been, and then we'll hand over. So I've been Philippa Moore. You can find me on Twitter and TikTok talking about games and occasionally writing them and playing them. But what about our wonderful players? Pandora, tell us about you one more time. Where can we find you if you want to be found? Or what do you do?
You can't really find me most places, but I do a Twitch stream with one of my D&D groups called Guardians of the Galaxy. You're more than welcome to come watch us on Thursdays at 7 p.m. UK time. Hit us up. Had a great fun. Thanks for watching, and give as much as you can. If not, just get someone else to.
Yeah, tell other people about it as well. Echima, what about you? Tell us where we can find you.
So I'm a 2D game artist, and you can find me on almost any platform under the name Echima.
Brilliant. Marcus, tell us where we can find you.
Hi, I'm Marcus. You can find me on Twitter at @TheChindividual, and I run a weekly D&D 5th edition game set in Eberron at Horde of Tales, which you can find at twitch.tv/Horde of Tales. We stream weekly on Tuesdays, 7 p.m. British Standard Time. So if you enjoy Eberron or watching a very chaotic group of adventurers for hire, check us out.
Excellent. And Kato, tell us where we can find you.
Yes, I'm IXCato on most places, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. I also play in a bi-weekly D&D 5e show with D8 Dungeon on their Twitch channel called Rise of the Forsaken. It's every Sunday night. And yeah, thanks for having me. I had so much fun.
Brilliant. So that's been us. Just a reminder, one last time, please do donate if you can or share the stream. We've got some more games coming up. But until then, we're going to say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.